So, welcome to Wilds of Eldraine set review. We are going to be reviewing some number of cards. We're just looking at them and giving some first impressions and thoughts. This number of cards will include all of the gold uncommons, including the adventure gold cards. So, like uncommons that are creature for one color and the adventure is a different color, in addition to the 10 uncommon 2-color legends. And we're going to be talking about all of the commons. I don't know if we're going to be talking about any uncommons that have more than one color, and we're definitely not talking about any rares or mythics or bonus sheet stuff.
Yeah. Right, so the bonus sheet uncommons really are just as frequent as the normal single color uncommons. Mm-hmm. So we're kind of leaving them both out, but they're equally important. As far as the structure of the set, it's not like the previous Eldraine where you wanted to be monocolor at all.
Nope.
It seems like a pretty typical sort of structure.
Yep.
It actually reminds me of Dominaria United because of the off-color adventure game.
Yeah, with the off-color kickers.
Off-color kickers.
Yeah. Except Dominaria United had those at common, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and it doesn't. And this set does not have any dual lands at common or anything.
Yeah. So Dominaria United had much more of a multicolor theme. This, you're probably going to stick to 2 colors for the most part. But there's a lot of things in common. For example, Crystal Grotto got reprinted, and another thing they have in common is that they have the same set designer, Ian Duke, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's not a Humphreys set?
Yeah. No, it's not. So I think we'll see a few more cards as we go that are parallel than Dominaria United.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing in the. I took a brief look through the bonus sheet, and there wasn't anything that looked super structural, I guess. There will be a few more enchantments. There's plenty of. There's a few enchantments that are cantripy, bargain fodder, and that might be reasonable to keep track of, but it doesn't look as structural as, say, Brothers War artifacts, having a lot of random cheap artifacts laying around. It
feels out of place to me in this set, but we'll see how it plays, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I feel
like the other bonus sheets they've done had more reason to exist. And they had I don't want to be down on the bonus sheet yet. They always end up better than they seem. But
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at the card Compulsion right now on the bonus sheet, which is 1 in the blue for an enchantment, 1 in the blue discard a card, draw a card, 1 in the blue sacrifice it, draw a card. That's not a very good card, but I digress. So, shall we get started? Do you want to go over the grading scale that you've come up with this time? You always have a different grading scale. I never know exactly what it is.
Very important to change the grading scale every single time so that you never get used to it. Okay. So this time, it's a 1 to 9 scale for commons only. So we're just going to rate the commons, where 1 is the worst common in the set and 9 is the best common in the set. And if you insist on thinking about 0 and 10, those are the worst possible or the best possible you could ever imagine. But we're not going to actually give out those grades because the best possible common is not.
You're not actually going to give out those grades. I always break your set review guidelines because
the other rules
are made
you can't give fractions. That's the other rule. You have to give an integer number between 0 and 10, but really between 1 and 9. Okay? And 5 is going to be the average common. So it's average. Sometimes you want to give the average commons a 6. That's what they feel like average, but no, 5 is them. 5 is right in the middle. Mm-hmm. Okay. And we're gonna try and have equally many commons above and below 5. All right. If you want to see the review grades, I think you can type !grades in the chat or something.
!grades, and that will show things.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get started. Let's do the swapping off between reading cards again. I'll start. Charade of Numbing Deaths. This is 2 white blue for a 2/3 legendary Merfolk Wizard. Not looking good so far. It's 4 mana for a 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. So you lock something down. It's like a, now it's starting to look like an expensive Frostlings. Whenever you tap one or more untapped creatures at your opponent's control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. That's what we're talking about. It's 4 mana for a 2/3 cantrip creature, as long as your opponent has any untapped creature. Keep in mind that if your opponent doesn't have any untapped creatures, like either they don't have any creatures or they just attacked with everything last turn, then you don't get to draw a card from this. But if your opponent has any untapped creatures, 2/3 for 4, comes down, draws a card, locks that creature down. Very good rate. Also, like...
Yeah, now that you mention it, there are more ways for it to go wrong than I realized. Like, there's more, like, you sort of are unable to cast this if your opponent doesn't have an untapped creature.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
before
like,
I thought about that, I was really high on it.
You can always use it as a 4 mana Frostlings that will probably get you value later. So like, for example,
I really want to draw the card.
I know you really want to draw the card, but like if their only creature is like one tapped creature, like you'll just like cast it for 4, lock the creature down, make it so they can't attack you next turn, and then like maybe you'll have an instant speed tapper for when that creature does end up untapped.
So the other thing is that this is the like theme of the blue-white in the set. But
Blue-white
there are only
tappers.
2 other cards that take you off for tapping your opponent's creatures. They're both uncommon. And I think they're good, but and there are a lot of ways to tap. So like you can make these cards good. There just aren't that many payoffs for you to get. That said, you might just want to be tapping things naturally if you're like a sort of tempo game or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like tapping things is naturally like powerful, And there's like plenty of ways to tap things as well, even beyond the 2 other payoffs. There's like a bunch of ways at common. There's a white version of Hythlian Knots from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's better.
It's like scry 1, draw a card, tap a thing. Basically, yeah. There's a lot of tapping in blue and white. It's the whole theme. So yeah. I think this card will be fairly strong. I'm going to give it an 11 on our scale, even though I'm not supposed to be grading it. But anyways.
Okay. I'm abstaining.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Dreadbeam Click is 3 and a blue for an adventure creature. So each color pair has an adventure creature that is those 2 colors. And the adventure half is 3 and a white for a instant destroy target tapped creature. And the creature itself is 3 and a blue, like I said, for a 3/3 with flying. And it's a fairy.
Well, this card is very good if you can adventure it. It's just 2 cards in one.
Right. It's on theme. It's 2 like slightly mediocre cards, but it's a full 2 cards.
Yes.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, if you can't adventure it, then like you should not be putting this in your deck. 4 mana 3/3 flyer is not going to be good enough.
Right. If you're like really aggressive, maybe your opponent won't have tap creatures, but you're in this color pair, so you probably will be tapping their creatures anyway, even though you're aggressive. So I think you're almost always any blue-white deck. I think you'll play it.
Do any white decks play this card? I think a white deck might want to play this card.
This card is
sometimes
pretty darn bad if you can't cast both halves.
So okay, one thing to note.
Imagine a really controlling white deck that could somehow play it.
One thing to note.
Yeah.
For these 2 color adventure cards, where you have where you the adventure is 1 color, the creature is a different color. It is a lot easier to splash the creature side than to splash the adventure side. In the sense that you can cast the adventure first, early game, and then late game get the incidental creature, but you can't cast the creature first and then late game, after you've cast it, still play the adventure, right? So, like, if you're trying to get full value at the very least, then it is easier to splash the creature side. So even though this is a blue card, like the only thing white about it is color identity. It doesn't even count as a white card. It is easier to put this in a white deck than the blue deck and get value from it.
And you could imagine having like Rainbow Fixers
Yes.
You don't want to put an island in your deck for this, but you could have Crystal Grotto or like some green mana dork.
Yeah, and then you just like instantly late game.
Could actually be pretty reasonable.
Yeah. You just instantly get a 3/3 flyer sometimes, and like it is obviously it's not good rate, but like if it came attached to your removal spell, that's amazing. There are a couple that work differently, and I'll point those out. And in terms of like incentives, but yeah. Next, Obira Dreaming Duelist, blue-black 2/2 flash flyer. Whenever another fairy enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life. So this is a very aggressive fairies theme. Looking at this card, right? Like 2/2 flyer for 2, just pretty aggressive rate, pretty good. Flash. Like slightly less impactful on like a 2/2 because it's hard for that to eat something, but I mean it's obviously still good. Like you get to like hold up other things, as well as like being able to play this and keep your opponent guessing, and very aggressive card in the sense that like all the ability does is hit your opponent for more damage if you're going to be playing fairies. So yeah, very strong card.
Right. And it also like doesn't emphasize the fairy theme very much because like the ability is relatively minor compared to just it being really, really good stats.
I think the ability can matter a lot.
But like
definitely
like you're gonna do 1 or 2 damage with the ability.
There's a big difference between 2 and 0 damage though.
I agree. But it's like for example, the tap card gets way, way better for every way to tap you have in your deck.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's true.
You're just like drawing more cards. Yeah. This is not scaling as much. It starts great and gets slightly better.
Yeah, like if you play this on turn 2, your opponent isn't forced to kill it. They can just take 1. Where like the tapper, like they probably have to kill it very quickly. Otherwise you'll run away with the game.
And I think that's representative of the fairies archetype in general, that you're not that all about like, let's get payoffs for my fairies.
Mm-hmm.
They're only there are even a couple of commons that pay you off for having fairies, but I think they're all pretty like small buffs.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see them.
There's like 1 uncommon removal spell that I think like really benefits from fairies, but otherwise
there's the counter spell that's like counter unless you pay 2 + 1 per fairy or something. I don't know. Spell stuff.
Sure.
Yeah. Also, good note in chat. There aren't that many fairy tokens. There's a lot of rat tokens, but like only a few fairy tokens. So you're not going to be going off with tokens.
Are 1/1s with flying that can't block except other creatures with flying.
Yeah, they can only block other creatures with flying.
Yeah, which is better than the rat token by a lot.
Well, yeah, but you get a lot more rat tokens. So yeah.
Yeah, of course, the rate is different.
Next.
Right. We've got Spellscorn Coven. So the adventure half is 2 and a blue for an instant that returns target spell to its owner's hand. So something on the stack. And the creature is 3 and a black for a fairy warlock 2/3 with flying. And when it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. Wow.
So the front half is a remand that costs 1 more and draws you a 4-mana 2/3 flyer that like makes your opponent discard a card when it enters.
Sure.
It's like fine.
It doesn't sound. Yeah, the adventure half is pretty weak.
Yeah,
but that's fine because the black hat part is worse playing on its own.
Yes.
So that's part of the issue. Every black deck, I think, will be picking this card.
Yeah, and I think this is one where like you will not care about having blue mana in your deck for this card. And often like when you're in blue black, you won't necessarily even care about playing the blue half first before you play the black half. Like it's a nice tool to have available, but like it doesn't get you any like value inherently. It just might be it might like be good tempo in specific spots.
Yeah, and you also don't want to wait too long before playing the creature out because you might run out of cards from this card.
Okay. Next up, Totentan's Swarm Piper. 1 black-red for a 2/3 legendary human warlock bard. Wow. two drops. Whenever Totentan's Swarm, Hyper, or another non-token creature you control dies, create a rat, which is 1/1, can't block. And 1 in the black, target attacking rat you control gains Death Touch until end of turn. So this is just like all of your creatures die into rats, and your rats are very hard to block profitably, because you can just pay 2 to trade them. Strong card.
Why does it say the rat has to be attacking? That's ridiculous.
Well, because if you made all the rats lose all abilities, and then you did this, then you could block with the rat. Fight spells is another good point. Thanks, Nora.
Fight spells.
Yeah.
But
not that you're going to have very many fight spells, but we're about to see one, I believe. It would, in fact, matter for the card we're about to see.
That's actually true.
Yeah.
Wait.
But yeah, this is just a generically strong card. Gives you a lot of material.
I still think it's a redundant card. Redundant name. Word, I mean. Anyways. Yeah. I don't know what to say about this. It is good. I'm not sure. So, obviously, the black-red team is rats, but, like, it seems less about, like, sacrificing rats, like it sometimes might be. Although, obviously, you can bargain away the rats. But then, it's more about, like, actually going wide and attacking with the rats.
Yep. I mean, like, I would say, like, it's also just very good for the bargain plan because it gives you so much material, right? It gives you so many tokens.
Yes.
Every time, at the minimum, this dies into a token.
So when I look at the payoff cards, the cards that are, like, about rats, they, like, think about going wide, less about...
Yeah. I mean, like, I suspect that the, like, explicit payoffs will be, like, you're attacking with rats, and there's a lot of implicit, like...
Payoff. It's just directly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, next card.
Okay. Colorless Sellsword is our black-red adventure. The adventure is red for a sorcery. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to any other target, then sacrifice it. And the creature is 1 in a black for a 2/2 human soldier that enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each creature that died under your control this turn. So we've got Thud with a strange wording, and we've got a 2 mana 3/3 or so.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Probably 3/3 usually, but sometimes it'll be huge. Also, I guess it's hard to make it a 3/3 on turn 2, which is important. Okay, one note about these adventure cards that I should have brought up with the blue-white card as well, and somewhat the blue-black card, but much less. If you try to cast an adventure spell, like the adventure half, and then that spell fizzles because, if it gets countered, or if it just fizzles from the target not being legal anymore, you lose the whole card. It doesn't go to exile. You don't get to cast the creature half. So notably, this blue-white card, right? If you try to destroy target tapped creature, and then your opponent bargains that creature in response, like it's either a token or an artifact, then. Or just like sacrifices it some other way, then you don't get the 3/3 flyer. So be very careful about that. And this one is like even easier to get blown out by, because you have to target your creature with thudding.
Wait. My understanding is that this one actually doesn't.
Wait, yeah, never mind. Sorry.
As long as the other target is still legal, it does not fizzle.
Yes,
okay. Deal damage.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't see the other target. Yes, but if both targets disappear, it does fizzle. But that's not going to be very. That's not going to happen very much.
Yeah. So this is actually it's better than like Thud, because it doesn't get blown out by counter spells like Thud would.
Yes. It doesn't. It doesn't get blown up by counter spells, but. Also, but it does get blown out by removal spells. And that if it removes the creature, you get the adventure you get the Colorless Sellsword in exile, but you don't get to deal the damage.
Yeah.
So it's like more different Thud, you know.
Yeah, if it were worded exactly like Thud, it would it double blown out by counter spells and 0 blown out by removal. And instead, it's 1 and 1.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Just to note,
So
the
I think the idea
Spellscorn.
with this card is-
Just a brief note: the Spellscorn Coven can get blown out also if they if they also Spellscorn Coven their own thing or like counter it or remove it from the stack somehow, but much harder.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll happen someday.
I think this card is very good. This Callous Sellsword.
The natural question with this card is, how can I steal my opponent's creature?
I mean,
I think there's just one uncommon that does that.
Yeah. I guess one way you can get blown out with the Callous Sellsword is no, never mind. Sorry. I was thinking, if you point face, you might get blown out, but that's actually not true. Yeah. So Steel and Sack Steel and Sack is just going to be valuable because there's so much bargain running around, and bargain can sack some things. I guess specifically tokens, but like that's still value a bit. But like there's not.
There are only 2 red cards that bargain, and there's 4 black cards that bargain.
I mean, like all colors have bargain, so you're going to have access to bargain.
I'm just more. Some have more than others. Like
that's true.
Red and white have the least.
Yeah, but
2 each, and other colors each have.
But regardless, for this card, I feel like the creature half is just like really good as well. So like, this is one where you don't need the red half for it to be good. The creature half just very efficient.
Yes.
Yeah. Next up, Ruby Daring Tracker. Red-green for a 1/2 haste. Weird stat line. Whenever it attacks while you control a creature with power 4 or greater, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. It also has tap, add red or green. So this is a 2-mana mana dark with haste, so you can like fit it in. And also
that's what the haste is for, not the attacking.
I
guess it can be 3 power.
Yeah. If you have this is also pointing towards red-green caring about big creatures, power 4 or greater. 2-mana 3/4 haste is like quite sizable. Obviously, you're never going to attack with your 1/2 haste. Well, you will. Sometimes you get 1 damage, but you're not going to be like particularly excited about it.
Yeah, there's only 1 common and 2 other uncommons that care about power 4 or greater.
Mm-hmm. This is an interesting card. I feel like the fact that it's red-green makes it like decently hard to cast in a way that makes it a worse mana dork, because you want to play your mana dork on 2.
Oh, sure. It does not fix you at all.
Nope. I think this card is probably going to be fine. But yeah, just pointing at the red-green big creature archetype.
It's a little weaker than the other ones we've had, although
yeah.
You'll still be happy to play it.
Yeah, I could see it being like more like medium common level, like role player level.
All right, we'll talk more quantitatively when we get to the comments.
I would give it a 7 for what it's worth. 6, maybe.
You would give it a what?
7 or 6.
Wow.
One of those 2.
7. All right. Okay. Picnic Ruiner, red-green adventure. The adventure is 3 and a green for a sorcery that distributes 3 +1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures you control. And the creature half is a Goblin Rogue 2/2, and whenever it attacks while you control a creature with power 4 or greater, it gains double strike until end of turn.
Yeah, I mean, this is just another just good card, good value adventure.
So you can pump itself up to 4 power with some other card, and then it'll get double strike.
Yes. If it has 4 power itself, it does trigger itself, which is very powerful. So if you have any way of buffing it, and there's plenty of ways, I think. It can be very powerful. Also, it's also just a fine 2-drop to cast on turn 2. Sometimes you'll just play this as a 2/2 for 2.
Yeah.
And then it will get double strike sometimes.
So every red deck is going to want this card.
Yes. And it's definitely a lot better to have red mana in your deck than green mana in your deck for this, because
this sorcery is not a card on its own.
Yep. I mean, it is a card. It's just a lot below rate. And
I would say the adventure is better than the 2 and a blue.
Oh yeah, sure. I think I disagree. I think I disagree. Maybe. Oh, sorry. If you only get to cast the blue half, sure, yes.
No. Overall, the card maybe is weaker, but I don't know.
Anyways. Yeah, just a solid card. Sir Armont, the Redeemer, 3 green white for a 4/4 legendary creature human knight. When it enters the battlefield, create a monster roll. This is the first roll we've seen. Attached to another target creature you control. It's I don't actually know the full mechanics for roll. I probably should have looked that up. But it gives the creature +1/+1 trample, and you can only have 1 roll on the creature basically. And enchanted creatures you control get +1/+1. So actually that's a +2/+2 buff with trample. So it's 5 mana for 4/4 of stats plus 2/2 trample hasty stats, and like the trample applying to like
and potentially more if you have other enchanted creatures.
Yes. This is a very beefy threat, and points towards like wanting a lot of enchanted creatures, so like a lot of rolls. Yeah,
and you do have to have another creature.
Yes, you can't target you can't have it enchant itself.
So what question did you have about the mechanic? Like,
so is it
different roles?
Is it always when you create a role attached to a creature, like you remove all roles you had attached to that creature?
Yeah, you can only control 1 role attached to any given creature.
Okay, but
you can have someone. There's 1 role that you put on your opponent's stuff, and they can also have their own role on it. So there's 2 roles that way.
So it can be a cursed monster.
Yes, you can have that.
Okay.
And they're like just aura tokens, which is funny.
It's weird. Anyways.
So for the theme for green white is obviously these roles. A little to tell exactly like what the strategy is. There's like 1 uncommon that says like draw a card whenever you have an aura enter the battlefield, and there's another that like the fight spell was enchanted creatures.
I mean, I think you can just get like some amount of incidental value from bargaining as well. Like you get this incidental roll, and yeah.
So, and again, this creature does not have a super strong identity for like, oh yeah, this target's way better when I have many rolls.
Yeah, this is solid stats. Like very solid.
Not a lot.
Yeah. I'd give it an 11. Or maybe actually a 10. I'd give it a 10. Anyways.
Yeah, don't give it an 11. It's not even a 10. But
I think
Acolyte.
I think it can be 10.
Which is... You would pick like Premium Champion over this card. Anyway.
Probably.
Anyway, Woodland Acolyte is our green-white adventure. The adventure is a green for an instant. That's put target permanent card from your graveyard on top of your library. And the creature is 2 and a white for a 2/2 that draws a card when it enters the battlefield. So for 4 mana, you can like get the card in your graveyard in your hand right away.
Yeah, so it's like a 4 mana that you win, kind of. Or you could split that up. Or it's just a 3 mana like 2/2 draw card, which is a very good card. Like, a 9 just by that. I feel like I said that like these adventures you want to like splash the creature half instead of the adventure half, because I was assuming that the adventure like you would actually want to play both. No. But like I feel like a lot of these are actually ending up with like the adventure is just like situational.
The creature is what the adventure is tiny bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this instant is a solid boost to the card though. I mean, yeah, like buying back a card that I like wish I had in my deck, but it's too bad to actually put in my deck.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I get to have it in my deck without.
It's just like it's just sometimes nice to like be able to buy something back for just a green mana, or like put it on top of your library, like if you have a bomb or something, for example. Or an important removal spell, and like the great part of it is it just comes attached to a very good creature, 3 mana 2/2 draw card, just very solid. Yeah, great card.
Yeah.
Neva, Stalked by Nightmares, 2 white black, 2/2 legendary creature, human noble with menace. So 4 mana 2/2 menace. When it enters the battlefield, return target creature or enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. So it's a Gravedigger that also hits enchantments. And whenever an enchantment you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on this and scry 1. Very strong card. Like Gravedigger as a 4 mana 2/2 is a card that people like have been pretty happy with in the past, though like, you know, that has been kind of far in the past, and like, you know, sets have gotten stronger generically, so Gravedigger is probably like more average-ish power level now. Like still good, but like the Menace helps a lot, growing helps a lot, like the Scry 1 can also be pretty big. This really points out white black you want to be like playing enchantments, sacrificing enchantments for bargaining. There's a black enchantment and a white enchantment that both like roughly give you a card's amount of value when it ETBs, and then you can sack it, and those are amazing with this.
This color pair seems really synergistic to me.
Yes.
I found like 3 common payoffs, 2 uncommon payoffs, and that was just like the really obvious ones. There was a ton more that were like really meant to support this plan.
Yeah.
Like the 2 commons you just mentioned. Seems really well supported. And this card's great.
Yeah.
However, the adventure creature is a little bit off theme, but I'll read it now. Shrouded Shepherd. The adventure is 1 and a black for a sorcery that says creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end of turn. And the creature is 1 and a white for a 2/2 Spirit Warrior, and when it enters the battlefield, target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn.
I don't know why the adventure is called Cleave Shadows and not Cleave Rats. I feel like this is a rat hate card more than anything, but for the adventure side at least.
Yeah.
The creature side is still just very good.
Yeah, creature side is not as good as some of the other we've had, but it's still a card that every white deck will play.
I'm not convinced it's not as good. 2 mana 2/2 like with ETB pump something +2/+2 is very strong.
I think it's as good as the 2 and a white 2/2 draw card.
No, it's not as strong as that, but I think it's stronger than the red one that like gets double strike sometimes, you know?
Oh yeah, I wasn't talking about that one. No way.
Okay,
yeah,
sure.
Way better than the red one.
And I think it's like comparable to the 4 mana 2/3 flying.
To the black one.
Yeah,
I agree. Okay.
It's like slightly awkward that it's hard to play this on curve.
But we had given all these cards grades so we could directly compare how we are talking about them all relative to each other.
Okay. I wonder who told us we shouldn't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this one again is one where you mostly want to cast you mostly want to cast the creature half of this, and the adventure half is just like it can be a good hoser.
That's going to be really good times.
Yes.
Yeah, time you're just gonna, even if you get 1 creature with that, or like, you can easily finish off a creature with that.
Yeah, being on an adventure helps a lot.
It is kind of hard to cast both halves in the same turn. Like if you're sometimes post combat in the adventure half.
Yeah, I mean like sometimes like you pre-combat it to get rid of a blocker, you know. But basically like it's a mono black sideboard card, a mono white main deck card, and a very good black white card. Is how I would think about it. And like it's not clear that if you're like mono black you should like splash white for this, and it's not clear that if you're mono white you should like splash black. When I say mono white I mean like white and not black.
You should probably not put a swamp in your deck.
Yeah, but like you should try to get some 5 color sources because it is big upside sometimes.
Well, but there aren't that many. There's Crystal
Grotto,
I think that's going to be pretty good.
There's Prophetic Prism.
Prophetic Prism is going to be really good.
Yeah, white decks are probably going to want Prophetic Prism. I don't know. Anyways, next up, Greta Sweet Tooth Scourge. 1 black, green for a 3/3 legendary creature human warrior. ETB, create a food token. Black, sack of food, put a +1/+1 green sack of food, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature as a sorcery. 1 in black, sack of food, you draw a card and you lose a life. So foods are clues now with this card. Very strong card.
Well, there were some clues.
Sure.
Well, they're pretty close because you have the green option as well.
Yeah, you have the green option, and you also have the like eat the food option, and like also you have the it's a game object. If you read this as
3 mana 3/3 investigate, that's pretty good.
Yes. 3 mana 3/3 investigate is very good. It's just a solid value card. Nothing busted, but just very solid. Though I guess like the engine it provides if you have other food sources is pretty good.
Right. So I was reading, I did Scrabble search for food chaos. I found like 6 uncommons that like use foods, like not just make them but use them. And then there's a ton of commons that make them. So that seems like something you can really do, but you are going to need to get hooked up with a few uncommons.
I will say this one's probably worse than the Hunter from original Eldraine. It was also 1 black green for a 3/3.
Sack
it wasn't
2
legendary.
foods, draw a card.
Yeah, it was sack 2, draw a card, but for no mana. And whenever you attack or block and have vigilance, you make a food. I think this is slightly worse than that.
Okay.
That's obviously you need 2 food to draw a card, but no mana and no life loss is pretty big. Like, it just gets you value a lot faster. Like, if you play this and then your opponent immediately kills it, you're just left with a food. If you play the Hunter and if you play the Hunter and like you have 2 foods, your opponent can't stop you from getting a card. Also, apparently the Hunter didn't have vigilance and whatever. I forgot whether it had.
Yeah,
vigilance.
I don't think it did.
Okay, sure. I think that one was.
That's fair. I think it will be more supported in this set than it actually was in Eldraine.
Really? I felt like Eldraine was pretty supported. Like, Trail of Crumbs was a whole thing.
Debatable. I know you. It seemed like in retrospect that in Eldraine you really wanted to be like red, white, or blue.
Oh, sure. Sorry, I don't mean how good it was. I meant how much support there was. Right.
Yeah. Well,
I think those are different questions. Kind of. I agree that like they're related. But anyways, this is a solid card. Solid card might help with your food engine. I don't think this is like a card that's going to like say, oh, you really want to build a food engine now. I think you can just use it for value. I do have VODs turned on. I'm pretty sure. This should be saved as a VOD. I'll also be uploading it, hopefully. Yeah. Next up, Julian.
Gingerbread Hunter is the black and green adventure.
Sorry.
The adventure half is Puny Snack, 2 and a black instant. And it says target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. And the creature is 4 and a green for a 5/5 that makes a food token when it enters the battlefield. It's a giant.
I think this is the best card we've seen so far. This is Bone Crusher Giant.
In a sense.
It's a giant.
I mean, both halves cost an extra mana. Are slightly better than Bone Crusher Giant. I don't think.
Sorry, I have to deal with something. Okay, sorry, what were you saying?
I was saying that it's a mana more expensive on both halves than Bone Crusher Giant, despite having slightly better.
Yes, I mean, like, sorry, when I say it's Bone Crusher Giant, I mean, like, it's the uncommon version of Bone Crusher Giant rather than, like, the rare, one of the best cards, like, printed in some time.
Yeah.
The version of Bone Crusher Giant. Right. Yeah. But, like, it's very good, you know?
I don't think it's the best one we've seen.
Really? Which one do you think is better?
I really like the white-green adventure that drew a card.
I think that, like, honestly, I think that the 3 mana 2/2 draw card is, like, not even that much better than 5 mana 5/5 create a food.
Ooh.
It is better, definitely better. But, like, 5 mana 5/5 create a food is very good. Like, it's just so much stats, and, like, it's a Lindworm, right? Like, it's roughly comparing Priest of Ancient Lore to Lindworm.
You have to pay 2 mana to get your game.
But it's a 5 mana creature, not a 6 mana creature, right? Like, it's roughly Lindworm. And, like, it also synergizes with bargain stuff. Like, 5 is 5 is more than 2 mana less than 6. That's what I'm saying. 5.
Well,
yeah.
Well, we'll save the arguments about comparing cards with the commons.
Yeah, but either way, this card is really good. You should. I still think that I think this is a card where like you'd rather be in black with like a bit of a green splash than green with a bit of a black splash, but like only barely. I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't. if you only have like one green source, I don't know if I'd play this card.
I would play it.
One green source, you play it?
Yeah, one green. I mean, sorry, I would play a forest for this card. I'm willing to go that far. But as in, like, if I have one green source, I would then play a forest in addition to that green source to play this
And then
card.
you have two green sources.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's other things as well with like how splashing shapes your draft. You can, if you get this card, you can then prioritize more green cards as well to like have a deeper splash. But that's a different question. Anyways, Troyan Gutsy Explorer, 1 green blue 1/3 legendary creature Vidalcan Scout. Tap add blue green, or I guess green blue. Spend this mana only to cast spells with mana value 5 or greater, or spells with X. And also it has blue tap, draw a card, then discard a card. So this is a 3 mana kind of double mana dork with a looting ability that costs mana. Is this card?
I'm just curious if it didn't have the or spells with X in their mana costs clause, would you be able to choose like X equals 5?
Yes.
And then spend the mana on it? Or,
yes.
Yeah, I think you would, right?
Yeah, I think the only thing that does is let you cost.
That mana type is like very
yeah
uncommon for that to matter. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like if you're casting an X spell that like with total mana value, like
small
4
X.
or less. Yeah. So like fireball.
I think
for
it's
X
also there so that people don't get confused.
Okay, that's fair. I think the confusion.
I could easily imagine someone thinking it's not allowed.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm not convinced this card is good. I think this card looks kind of medium.
I'm sorry, I was distracted. I mean, it does tap for 2 mana.
I mean,
it is very small and expensive.
It taps for 2 mana, but like only for your big spells. Like it's gonna like.
Well, that's all. That's what you're gonna be casting.
Well, okay. Let's say you play this on turn 3, right? Sure, maybe this lets you play a 6-drop on turn 4, right?
This is a dicey card. This is the worst one we've seen. For sure.
Yeah. Like you could play a 6 on turn 4, but like you can't even play a 5. Like you can't really play a 5 plus another spell on turn 4. Like if it could let you double spell on turn 4, I would be more into it. Instead of like it forcing you to like cast a 6 on turn 4, because like another thing with cards like this is like if you play this with the to plan to cast a 6-drop and it gets removed, that's a big tempo hit, as opposed to if you play this to plan to cast a 4 plus a 2 and then it gets removed, okay, you just still cast your 4. But obviously it can't do that because you can't cast a 4 plus a 2 with this. But yeah, I just don't think this is a good card. 1/3, I guess, is
it's probably actually
worse,
like I don't know. You might not play it. I don't know what. It's pretty bleak for blue green, but you might just not play it.
I mean, I just wouldn't play it in blue green. Next one is also maybe slightly questionable.
All right, Tempest Heart is our blue green adventure. I got high hopes. Scan the Clouds is the adventure. 1 in a blue for an instant. Draw 2, then discard 2. The creature is 3 and a green for a 3/4 elemental elk with trample, and whenever you cast a spell's mana value 5 or greater, put a +1/+1 counter on it.
I don't like this either.
4 mana, 3/4 trample.
It's really bad as a 3/4.
It's fine.
Right, a 4 mana 3/4 no text is bad.
So it has text.
Well, yeah.
Sometimes it becomes a 4/5.
Sure. 4 mana 3/4 trample is just like not where you want to be, right? So you need to have this grow. Okay, and you 4 mana 3/4
adventure.
What? Oh, I don't think
cast the adventure.
I don't think. Let me put it this way: I don't think that the adventure is meaningful enough to make up for the fact that the creature is like slightly below rate.
I think the adventure is kind of good.
I mean, the adventure is okay, but it's not like. You're not like if you take time to cast that adventure and then play this on turn 4, you're not going to have a good time. Is my claim.
2 mana, draw 3, discard 2.
What
would be an excellent card, right? That would be excellent.
Sure. 2 mana, draw 3, discard 2, but like one of the cards you draw is this card, and you can't discard it.
That's where I was going. Okay, that's fine.
Is it though?
The downside, I've got this kind of bad creature.
I don't think that's like the point of drawing 3 and discarding 2 is to make your hand better.
I know.
This card
it does make your hand better.
Does it though? When you have this card, does that make your hand better? Is this a higher quality card than the rest of the cards in your hand?
Come on. 4 mana 3/4 is like it's only bad because it's like doesn't do anything.
No, it's just bad because it has bad stats. Like even if you grow this into a 4/5 the next turn, it's still slightly underrated because you play the 4 mana 3/4. Like you have to grow this twice for it to like start being. I think it goes from slightly below rate if you grow it once, and to slightly above rate if you grow it twice. Because there's that time delay.
Cutting out, but I get the idea.
Right?
I disagree. I think if you're growing it like on turn 5, that's fine.
Okay. I think if we're going to spend this much time talking about a card, then I'm going to give it a grade, and that grade is going to be a 5.
Okay, I'll give it a 7.
Great.
So, I think every blue-green deck will play this card. I think it's that good. Every blue-green deck.
Sure. Like, I play 5s in my decks sometimes. I'm not going to take this card before the wheel.
Yeah, 5s don't always get played, but 7s do. So
anyways, Johan Apprentice Sorcerer, 2 red blue for a 2/5 legendary creature human wizard. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. Once each turn, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from the top of your library. You still pay its cost, timing still applies. I think you can cast an adventure this way. Like, adventure and adventure specifically.
Oh. Sounds right.
I believe if you see an adventure on the top of your deck, you can play the adventure half, but you can't play the creature half.
Yeah.
So,
So it's Wishcoin Trap. It's like the
Wishcoin Crab that can draw you a card. And can draw you a card every turn, theoretically. Obviously, you're gonna need a big density.
If you're lucky. Yeah.
You need a density of spells, but like I feel like Wishcoin Crab is
just appreciating that was a compliment, Jason. I'm blessing the 5
Okay, great.
To make it live, and then I'm gonna be able to cast a card.
I was just about to make that point. Like I feel like Wishcoin Crab is an acceptable card to have a slow engine on. Like at the very least it blocks, you know. I like this card.
Yeah, it's not that good, but it's.
Wait, I think it's quite good. I think 2/5 is.
As in, like, I don't think it's premium like some of the other cards we've seen. I think it's just like.
I would give this a 9.
Okay. I will give it an 8.
I appreciate
it's
blocking.
Better than the previous card. Yeah. Oh, also. But next card, Frolicking Familiar. Our blue-red adventure. The red adventure is a 1 red mana for an instant that deals 1 damage to any target. The creature is 2 and a blue for a 2/2 otter wizard with flying. And whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn.
Prowess-ish. Doesn't trigger on like other non-creatures, but prowess-ish.
Yeah. Very good.
Is it? I would not put this in a mono blue deck.
I would. Definitely would. Like my Windrakes.
Oh, sorry, it has flying. Okay, sorry. For some reason, I didn't realize it had flying. Okay, never mind. I agree with you now. You agree that without flying, this card is like quite bad.
Adventure would still make me play it.
Okay, sure, maybe, yeah, probably. Yeah. but like, again, this is one where the adventure you have to be careful that like you're not gonna get blown out. But
right, yeah, especially because you might be targeting a rat.
Yeah. But yeah, this is this is just solid value. Like,
if you can decide to make a rat with it, that's plenty good enough.
Yeah.
All right. Last color pair.
Okay, Ash Party Crasher. Red, white, 2/2 legendary creature, human peasant with haste. 2/2 haste, solid. Celebration. This is the first time we've seen this keyword. This is the mechanic for red, white. Whenever it attacks. If 2 or more non-land permanents enter the battlefield under your control this turn, that's what celebration means. 2 or more things entering under your control. Put a +1/+1 counter on it. That is quite strong. This is a 3/3 haste for 2 on turn, like 4-ish, maybe 3.
Okay, you're saying if you don't get it casted on 2, and you
you can also cast it on 2 and then turn 3 grow it. But like a very easy way.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, maybe.
I'd easy to grow it on turn 3.
There's the card that's like that has 3 mana adventure, make 2 1/1s at common.
They did make a bunch of cards that do trigger celebration on their own.
Yes.
You can also make cursed rolls.
Yes.
All the types of rolls.
Yeah, there's like rolls, tokens, things that make tokens.
Anyway, not much to say. Very strong aggressive creature.
Yes, strong aggressive creature. Very good. Yeah.
Modane's Recruiter is our last adventure. The adventure is 4 and a white for a sorcery that makes 2 2/2s, which are white knight creature tokens with vigilance.
Celebration.
And the creature half, that's true, is 2 and a red for a 2/2 human knight. And when it enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +1/+0 in haste until end of turn.
This gives me what's it called? Heroic reinforcements vibes. Like worse than that
price
card.
of 8 mana, you too can attack for 9 damage.
wait. I mean, sorry. Like to be clear, it's the fact like it's heroic reinforcements like scaled up like in various ways, right? Like in 2 different halves as well. I mean, like just the 3 mana, like the front face, like the creature, right? It's kind of like heroic reinforcements. You're getting 2/2 stats, and you're like doing the +1/+0 haste thing. Obviously, it's worse than that because it's like going less wide. So you get less benefit. You actually get 3/2 versus 4/2, right, of stats. But like, it's only 3 mana. You can also you can like go 2-drop into this on turn 5, or I think like the intended play pattern that like the whole card is suggesting is turn 5 mana, you train troops, make 2 2/2s. Next turn you play a 2-drop in this or a 3-drop in this. And then you smash with everything. That's a lot of damage.
Would you play this if you don't have white mana?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I would too.
Yes, I think. I mean, like, it's somewhat like a 3 mana 3/2 haste, right? On the turn you play, like it's a 2/2 afterwards, but like
it's a little worse, except that it also pumps other things.
Yeah, so pumping other things is like quite good as well, especially in red. I would also maybe play this in mono white, like maybe with some red sources, but maybe not even. Like 5 mana make 2 2/2s is not that bad.
I think it's bad.
Okay, I will definitely play this in multicolor white. If I have like lots of 5-color sources, then this starts to look like Imperial Oath.
2 red sources is plenty.
Yeah,
I will say. Right, I forgot to talk about the like overall like themes of the color pairs for the last few.
I mean, like some of them have been pretty.
For red white, we said it was celebration. I said that there are actually 4 commons and 4 uncommons with celebration abilities.
With abilities, do you know how many are payoffs? Sorry, not payoffs, enablers.
No. I didn't count enablers, but there are a lot of those too. Everything's an enabler if it's a non-land permanent.
Well, sure, but like how many are like 1 card for 2 like things entering?
I'm sure there are several. I just counted payoffs. Like, is it worse?
I can count
yes,
I can count like 2 white commons that are a red common and a white common that I think are like premium commons that both enable it.
But the point is to talk about like, is it worth going for or not? Like,
I mean, like, I think a big part of is it worth going for is, are there good enablers?
Well, you got there. Yes, I agree. But I'm not worried about that. There definitely are, and also there are a full 8 cards that actually celebrate. So that's pretty good. I think you're going to be doing that a bunch. And then going back to the other color pairs, we had like blue-green, 21 commons that enable it by themselves.
I think that's also counting other colors. I think there's a bunch of things.
Probably across color pairs.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's some amount of adventures, like adventures that go like for like 1 mana, make a roll and then play another creature, right? And that's like a double color of another color or something.
I feel like that counts.
I mean, it kind of
they're common, and they are 1 color.
Yeah, but they're not going like anyway. some that aren't in red white. Like I know there's a black one that does that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I'm sure they're not all. Going back, we had blue-red spells.
Yeah, blue-red spells.
There were only 2 commons and 3 uncommons that like benefited from you having a lot of spells.
There's no Gandalf Sanction, no Zenith Flare.
I guess it's a reasonable number. Right. Yeah, nothing like that. But there's like a pinger that untaps whenever you cast a spell at common.
Yeah. I think it's not.
Anyway, we'll get there.
I think it's not that strong of a theme.
Yeah,
it's just generic. It's just generic value more than anything.
Then for the blue-green spells costing 5 or more, there were 2 commons and 3 uncommons again.
Yeah, I also don't think this is very much a theme.
Yeah.
Anyways,
especially because those cards, that was definitely the weakest pair of gold cards we saw.
Yeah. Shall we look at commons?
Should we go to the colorless ones first?
Oh, I can jump to the colorless ones first.
Yeah, let's do that.
Sure. First of all, we've talked about this card, Crystal Grotto, colorless land, ETB Scry 1, and it can filter as well. This is a card that you want to play like the first one is good, like most of the time, right? That's what we ended up on in DMU, and like past that, it gets kind of sketchy though.
Yeah, Scry 1 is great. I mean, it was great in DMU because you had the off-color kickers. Now you have the off-color adventures, but not as many of those. What number does it get?
Oh, right. We need numbers for this. Yeah, I would say 6. Like,
yes. All right.
You usually shouldn't pick this up early unless you know that you're gonna like really want it. But Evolving Wilds. This like is always a 7 or 8. Probably 7. 8? Maybe I don't know. One of those two. I don't have a feel for the skill yet.
7 for me.
Sure. It's just Evolving Wilds. It's always Evolving Wilds. Like, everyone knows what Evolving Wilds does. Candy Trail.
Yeah, there's. I've heard some debate about how good Evolving Wilds really is, though.
Are you talking about Tristan?
You shouldn't have played in 2-color decks before. I played in 2-color decks.
Well, sorry, was it Tristan that said that Evolving Wilds was not good?
I don't know, maybe.
Okay, I vaguely remember hearing you say something about that.
We've got Candy Trail.
Okay.
Which is is it my turn?
I think I kind of did both of the two. We skipped Evolving Wilds. It's fine.
Candy Trail is a 1-mana artifact, food clue. When it enters the battlefield, scry 2, and it has the food ability, except, so 2 tap, you sacrifice it, you gain 3 life, and draw a card. It's a lot better than normal food.
Yeah.
All right, I believe Jason said that, or really both of us said, that this is like preordained, but
no, it's not preordained.
Put Revitalize on top of your deck.
It's Serum Visions, except the card you draw. It's Serum Visions, except the card you draw is Revitalize. That's what it is.
Okay, that's the same as what I said.
Wait, what did you say?
I said after you scry, you put Revitalize on top of your deck, in between the scry and the draw.
No, it's not. That's not true because preordained immediately. So.
I said between the scry and the draw. Okay, this is really stupid.
Well, no, because like you actually get to see one card deeper than that. But whatever.
No.
Yeah. No.
You don't.
If you scry 2
after the scry, but before the draw, you put Revitalize on top of your deck. That's what I said.
Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter.
We said completely equivalent things.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, I guess that yours is just a really weird way of phrasing it. Anyways, is this card good? Unclear. I think it looks reasonable.
It is not clear, but I am a fan.
I think this will certainly be good in the food synergy decks.
I imagine you need some sort of synergy to play this. Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't you don't get the card if you sack it to target something.
Yeah. Makes it harder.
Maybe there's some green cards that trigger when you sack a food.
Yeah, I haven't looked as much at that. If there's something like that, this will be good there.
What did you say for Evolving Wilds, by the way? 7?
Oh, I said 7. I think this one's maybe a 5.
I'm saying 4.
Okay.
You want to say 5?
I'm gonna say 5. I think that this card like is okay value.
All right. You do know half of the cards need to get less than a 5.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
I think this is just an okay card. Gingerbrute.
All right, moving on to everyone's favorite card.
1 mana, 1/1 haste. 1, it can't be blocked by this turn except by creatures with haste, so like somewhat unblockable. And then 2 sack, you gain 3 life. 2 tap sack, you gain 3 life. So it's a food that's also a 1/1 with haste that is hard to block. I think this is going to be worse than last time. I think it's going to be hard for this to live up to like what.
You're right. In Eldraine, it benefits from like your monocolor decks really
colorless,
like colorless stuff too.
Yeah, colorless is huge. Also, like it played into. I still think this card is just a good aggressive card that you should play in your aggressive decks. I'm less convinced by that because some of the aggressive decks look more go wide this time.
Wide?
Yes, wide. Like the red-white celebration decks naturally want multiple things entering the battlefield, and like this helps with that in some sense in that it's like 1 drop, you know. But also, if you're having things go wide, a 1/1 unblockable is worse. You want 1/1 unblockable is better when you're going tall.
It's better for going tall because you'd like to just load it up with stuff.
Yes, and also just because like if you're if you're attacking with a 1/1 unblockable and then like 4 other 1/1s, like it doesn't change how many 1/1s your opponent can block, right? Just like that natural thing. So this is going to be, I think, quite a lot worse than before. I'm going to give this a 6.
Oh, that's. All that, and you still give it a 6? All right.
It's just a solid card. I don't know. Like it's a 1/1 unblockable that you can still you can also block and sack it. You know. Like,
actually, honestly, I'm going to go lower. I wouldn't say 5.
Okay.
I thought I was going to be higher on it than you, but I don't. It's like a card you'll probably play in aggressive decks, but not more than that.
Anyway. I mean. I don't think it's a card you'll play in your aggressive decks, but not more than that, is like a knock against a card. Like, there's plenty of great aggressive decks cards that you wouldn't play.
It'll be like it won't be a, you'll play it, but you're not going to be like, yeah, I want as many as I can get, you know.
Well, I think
we got Prophetic Prism.
Yeah, whatever.
There's a 2 mana artifact that draws a card when it enters the battlefield, and it has 1 tap, add a mana of any color. Yeah, so this is a card, in the past you've been way higher on it than me, but this time I think it's actually going to work because you can actually, every color has a ton of ways to sacrifice it.
Yes, you can sacrifice it, there's ways to bounce it, even, at least 1 in white. I don't know if there's more actually, but it's like a pretty good splashing tool. Like you can splash a bargain card and then bargain this to the bargain card because you're not gonna need it after you're
done. Yep.
Yeah.
So typically my problem with Prophetic Prism is 2 mana is too much to pay just to fix your mana. It's good at fixing your mana, but that's just too much mana to pay to fix your mana. But if it's actually getting value as well, I'm on board. I think typically, getting to bargain something is worth around 2 mana.
Yeah, there's plenty of times where exactly. There's straight up a blue spell that says at common that's pretty good that says this costs 2 less to cast if you bargain it. So you play your Prophetic Prism and then you immediately bargain it, and that's a wash, and you got to use it in the meantime and split up mana.
Yeah, Prophetic Prism gets a 7 from me.
I think that's entirely fair. I was considering whether I wanted to give it an 8, but no, it's just a 7.
Yeah, me too, but then I remember that the cap of the scale was 9, so keep it that high.
Scarecrow Guide. Mana Worker is back. They've been printing this ability a lot. 2 mana artifact creature Scarecrow. It's a 2/1 with reach. And 1 out of mana of any color, activate only once per turn. So mana washing. Does a very similar thing to Prophetic Prism, except instead of drawing a card, you get a 2/1, which is a lot worse.
How much does the reach add to?
Not a lot. I think 2/1 also is really sketchy because 2/1 doesn't even block rats, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I assume it's you're gonna block 2/2 flyers, like fairies with this. That's the idea or something.
I think you're just gonna block a 2-drop. Like the point of this is to trade with a 2-drop, which is not what you want to do. Like this is 2/1 is a worse stat line than 1/3 for this. Like we saw 1/3 with Mana Worker, right? 2/1 is just worse.
This card is a 3 for me.
That seems fair. Yes, 3.
All right. I'm worried we're grading too close to 5, but I think it's okay. All right. And go.
I mean, like it's a colorless 2-mana 2/1 that fixes. Like it's better than Prismite. Like Prismite is Prismite is like a 2.
Yeah, okay, no.
So like I don't know.
We'll see some cards worse than this. Yeah.
Okay. Right. I think it's your turn. Take it away with the white cards.
Yes, we are on Archon's Glory, first white common. Okay, Archon's Glory. A single white mana for an instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. However, you can bargain it, and if you do, that creature also gains flying and lifelink until end of turn.
Busted card. 8.
No way, dude.
8. I'm locking it in. This is an extremely good combat trick.
I like flying and lifelink as much as anyone. I don't think it's going to be that easy to bargain. I think bargaining is like a real cost.
I think that a lot of the times when it matters the most, you're going to be able to bargain it. Like flying and lifelink can be like flying and lifelink is you'll use this as just a 1-mana trick in the early game, right? Like get a favorable trade. That is a strong way to use a 1-mana trick, right? One problem with tricks is that they can fall off in the later game. Because
and this one maybe it doesn't as much.
Yeah, this one like very much does not, because a jump is extremely powerful. Usually we see 1-mana jumps, like Wings of the Cosmos, right? Like untap +1/+3. Sorry, when I say 1-mana, I meant +1 power. So like
maybe we should talk about bargain in general.
Yeah.
Okay, get on the same page about how much there is to do. All right. So you've got rats. You've got like maybe some fairy tokens.
Rats,
you've got food
rolls,
tokens, and you've got rolls.
The biggest ones
Those
are
the best
rats,
things to bargain.
rolls, and trinketed enchantments.
Yeah. Right. There actually are a bunch of those. And in white, in particular, the green, white, and white, black are very well set up for that. And maybe the red, white celebration can do it, and the blue, white tap, I guess, maybe a little bit.
Okay, I need to go find the card.
Say 7.
Give me a second. Hey, look, I found the card. It's Revelation of Power, except for 1 mana instead of 2.
But I mean,
Revelation of Power was a good card in Streets of New Capenna, and this is better.
Right.
This is a lot better.
I mean, I'd rather pay a mana than sacrifice like something.
First of all, I'm not convinced by that. Second of all, this doesn't have any targeting restriction. Like, you don't need a creature with a counter on it.
It's very restrictive, yeah, if it has a counter.
Yeah. Like bargaining is like a same level of restriction as that is my interpretation
all
here.
Right. I was gonna say 6 to 7. That's as high as I'm gonna go.
I'm still on 8.
You can be on 8. That's fine.
Break the spell. White instant, destroy target enchantment if a permanent you controlled or a token was destroyed this way. Draw a card. So notably, it's any token. You don't have to control the token. So this is kill a roll, draw a card, or kill an enchantment, don't draw a card, or like kill one of your own enchantments for some reason, draw a card. There's not very many enchantments of your own that you care about killing to draw a card for. So like. This is mostly kill a roll, draw a card, and sometimes like kill an enchantment.
Yeah, this is too fancy.
Yeah, I think this card is like not horrible by any means, right? Like some rolls will be like, +1. There's a bunch of +1/+1 rolls, right? Or like cursed rolls, right? So it's kind of like
you're happy when you can destroy your opponent's roll.
Yes.
However, your opponent does not always have a roll.
I mean,
and like
not always, but like you can also play like cursed rolls with this. Like like the 3-mana 3/3 lifelink.
No, it has to be their color scroll. Oh.
No.
Yeah, there's that one card that gives yourself a color scroll in the entire format. Yes.
I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I think that this will be, like, bad. You won't want to put this in your deck. It can be a sideboard card, though. And, like, if you do put it in your deck, it's not going to be that terrible. There's, like, it has, like, not that bad of a floor, is what I'm claiming.
All right, I'm giving it a 3.
I agree with that grade.
Okay. We have Slumbering Keep Guard. It's a 1-mana 1/1 human knight.
I love this one.
Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. And for 2 and a white, you can give it +1/+1 until end of turn for each enchantment you control. How many enchantments can I really just control? Like 3, if I'm lucky.
So so 2 should be easy, right? Like, if you build around it, 2 should be easy. Do you agree with that? Like, you can very consistently, like, play this and then play 2 enchantments.
That's kind of like done. Like, yes, if I'm built around it, then it's easy. But that maybe wasn't easy to do to build around it.
Sure. But like, my point is, like, are you happy with a 1-mana 1/1 that, like, scryed you 1 twice and then, like, can pump itself to be a 3/3?
A 1-mana 1/1 that scries twice and pumps itself to be a 3/3?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah.
Okay. I think I agree with that. Like, that's okay. Yeah. So I think you need, like, 3+ before this starts getting,
I was hoping to get
good.
I was hoping to get the 3 enchantments. Mm-hmm. Like, put a couple rolls around, and those scry ones add up. So this is pretty expensive to activate. I would give it a 4.
I was going for 5. I think I was, like, thinking about 6 even. Like, I could see this being a really good card, but I think it just asks a bit too much of you.
Ethan, this is Star Pupil. This is your...
What? No, this is not Star Pupil. This is not Star.
No,
okay. Also, do you realize you can pump it twice? Like, you can pay 6 mana to give it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay. Just so we're clear.
Yeah. All right. Your turn.
Armory Mice, 1 white for a 3/1 mouse. It gets +0/+2 as long as 2 or more non-land permanents enter the battlefield under your control this turn. So this is a 2-mana 3/3 asterisk.
Well, big asterisk, but I'm a stat line to begin with.
Like, it's a big asterisk, but not that big of an asterisk. Okay.
Yeah. No, of course it'll happen.
Yeah.
And like, what I meant was 2-mana 3/1 is, like, the kind of card I'm gonna want in my deck if it has any sort of upside at all.
Yes,
and this one definitely does.
Yep.
So I guess it's 6.
Yeah, that seems fair to me. 6. I could even see it going up to 7.
Cooped Up. I won't, but you could. Cooped Up. 1 and a white for a enchantment aura with enchanted creature can't attack or block, and 3 and a white to exile enchanted creature.
2 in the white, not 3 in the white. 3 mana total.
Yeah, 3 total mana, sorry. Yeah. So hopefully there are ways to abuse that.
I mean, there are, yes. There's quite a lot.
Yeah. Either an instant way to bargain it or an instant speed way to flicker it. Works very well by activating it, responding to the trigger.
Yep.
You'll still get exiled.
If anyone played during Theros Beyond Death, this is Dreadful Apathy for 1 fewer mana. Like, quite exactly Dreadful Apathy for 1 fewer mana.
Yeah. That means it's awesome.
Yes. Well, I mean,
an 8.
Okay, I will say, Dreadful Apathy, one of the... I think 8 is very fair. I might even go up to 9. No, I'm going to stay at 8 to be... I think that's...
It's not one of the best commons in the set.
Well, okay, it might be, because... So, Dreadful Apathy was one of the best commons in the set, but part of that was because of Escape, and the fact that it... what it meant was that you could solve Escape cards, and also had a bunch of synergies.
This had an even bigger enchantment theme than this set. Really.
So, okay, let me put it this way. Theros Beyond Death had about as like a bigger enchantment theme, but like less ways to exploit this card.
You can't return it to hand. Is there a way to like
you can't
it, have it enter the battle?
You can't, but you can activate the ability and bargain it in response, and that's like that's still very good. To be clear,
when there was a flicker effect in the set.
It's I guess it is worse than the flicker effect, but it's also one.
Is there not one?
Sorry, not one that's instant speed for enchantments. I don't think. You need instant speed for enchantments.
Yeah, there isn't.
Yeah,
there was.
But like one fewer mana is big.
Just to like have it come back and it just attaches wherever you want. Doesn't matter. The thing is hexproof. You just attach it.
The big thing is just that it's one fewer mana than Dreadful Apathy, even though it has less energy.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I'm
super happy. Like pacifism used to be bad, and they just kept pushing them and pushing them until they're good.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that this card is. I just think that this card is quite good. I think it could be a 9. I might stick with 8, but like I think it. Sorry, not 9. Oh wait. Did you say 8 or 7?
I said 8. Okay.
Oh, okay. Your grading scale tripped me up. I thought I forgot that 9 was the absolute maximum.
Yes, you cannot go higher than 9.
Or sorry, I forgot that 9 was the absolute maximum. Sure, I'll say 8. Yes. Fine. I thought that 9 was like still one step down. Anyways. Frostbridge Guard. 1 and a white for a 2/2 with 2 and a white to tap target creature. 2/2 for 2, that's an expensive tapper, but like it is a tapper. It's like okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm gonna just say 6. I don't know.
I will say 5.
Yeah, I'm going back down to 5. Yeah.
It's not as good as the 3/1. That is a 3/3.
Yes, I agree.
But it's totally serviceable, especially if you're trying to tap stuff. Okay.
I'm somewhat skeptical of like the fact that of this because I feel like there's a lot of go wide. But anyways.
Okay, 1 and a white for Hopeful Vigil. It's an enchantment that creates a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance when it enters the battlefield. And when it's put into a graveyard from the battlefield, scry 2, and you can pay 2 and a white to sacrifice it.
9.
Awesome.
It's very like there's 9. No way this is lower than 9. I would even petition towards 10, but like not actually there.
All right, slow down. Oh.
Okay, I should list the amount of synergies this goes with. Celebration. This is 2 permanents entering the battlefield. Bargain. You can sacrifice this to bargain.
I forgot about Celebration.
Random things that like pick this up sometimes. Like scrying is just good value. 2/2. Like it's a 2/2 for 2. 2/2 vigilance for 2, which is already like a solid
vigilance. Oh my god.
Yes, it's a 2/2 with vigilance for 2.
And it did not stop. Okay. All right.
9. There's no way this is lower than a 9.
Yeah, this is better than the pacifism, so it's a 9.
Yeah.
Wow. Common 2-drop.
Yeah. Also, like when it scries, why does it scry? Why does it scry 2? That's my biggest question with this card. Why? Why does it scry 2? It doesn't need the scry 2.
That's actually kind of insane.
Like
you just bargain and then you.
This is like a 2-mana 2/2 draw card, They
could have just made it like it only scries 2 if you pay the 2 and a white. They could have done that.
Yeah. They could have done that. No, they didn't.
Yeah, that would have been fine. Yeah.
Okay, I think want to give this a 10. This is just so much. Like it's not obvious that this is like worse than like 3-mana 2/1 flyer draw card. Like. I think if you put those 2 cards next to each other in this set and told me which one are you taking, Inspiring Overseer or Hopeful Vigil, like I'm not convinced I would say Overseer, which like I probably would.
Overseer gains a light,
but like I don't know.
You say like Cloud Concealer. Now, okay, it's close.
Okay, yeah, sorry, without the light.
Overseer gains a light.
Yes, I agree. Overseer gains life, but this scries 2 as well. Like this is scry 2 is so similar to like drawing a card, and you get so like bargaining value is.
I love scry 2. 1. It is not draw a card.
Well, yeah, but it's like, in that direction. Anyways, it's a busted card. Take it. Like, it's, I don't know. I don't know why it exists.
Yeah.
Am I next? Yeah, I'm next. Kellen's Light Blades. 1 and a white for an instant. Bargain. It deals 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. If it was bargained, instead you get to destroy that creature. So this can kill anything.
Yeah, but I mean, we've had the card that just straight up destroys anything.
How recently?
Like, it still has to be attacking or blocking.
Yeah. But like, how recently have we had that?
Oh, normally we just have it like tapped. Normally it's just tapped. It's destroying creature for 2.
Let me actually look at this.
Attacking or blocking is better than just tapped.
Yes, I agree. It's better than tapped. Wait. So, I don't think
we don't need to.
I feel like mostly we've gotten like deal 5s. Oh, okay. There was one in Crimson Vow that was destroy target attacking creature with cleave to make it like 6 mana, destroy any creature. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this card is like amazing. I think this is like maybe a 6. Maybe a 5.
I think it's at least a 6.
Yeah, okay.
These are, again, I don't know, the classic thing with these cards is like
they're just always awkward. They're not good aggressive cards.
Yeah, this one's better than some of them are because you can just kill a blocker. I mean, yeah, it's definitely better on defense.
Well, sorry, you can kill a blocker after it blocks. That's why it's bad against aggressive cards, like in aggressive decks.
In aggressive, yeah. Like it's better than the ones that just destroy tap things because they can at least still do it.
Yeah.
Like the issue with the tap ones was that sometimes they just do nothing. Yeah. I assume like it's pretty rare that like getting to bargain is an upside, right? Like, with that card we just saw, it could be an upside if it scries too. But typically you're not going to be like, oh, I'm just going to bargain it for fun. But I can scry too.
I agree that usually, like the only times where you like actively would like to sacrifice one of your enchantments really like is there's the 2 common enchantments, 1 white, 1 black that scry 2 when they go to the graveyard, and there's cursed rolls that you yourself make on your own creatures for some reason.
That's 1 card.
Yeah.
There's white black cards that trigger when an enchantment enters the graveyard.
Okay, sure, yeah.
There's many of them.
There's also the wicked roll says like when it goes to the graveyard, each opponent loses a life. So like theoretically, you can bargain for lethal.
Oh, that too.
But
I think it's at least a 6.
Okay. I don't think it's that much higher though. I think that the power level of the set is higher than this card.
Dude. All right, I'll take a 6. All right, we've got Plunge into Winter. 1 and a white for an instant. Tap up to 1. Target creature, scry 1, and draw a card.
Solid.
I like it.
Defensive.
Unlike Hisline Knots, which you mentioned before, it can be cycled without a target.
Yep. Can't be blown out.
So, I like to just play this sort of card.
I think this is a lot worse than Knots, despite the upside. I think that the context is a lot worse, is going to be my claim. Unless you're in specifically the blue-white tap deck, but like I'm not convinced you actually want this as much in the blue-white tap deck. First of all, like I think the blue-white tap deck is less supportive of an archetype than the blue-red spells deck. So like, the blue-red spells decks in Lord of the Rings can very much play in a stall, kill you with the sanction, right? Well, this is
whatever.
And like, I don't know, white does not seem like as much of a color for this as blue. Like white here compared to blue in Lord of the Rings. I don't know. I just think it seems kind of only okay.
I don't need much. It's just it's like an opt, I don't like
I think I'm putting it at 6.
Wait, you said 6?
Yes.
I was gonna say 5.
Oh. Okay.
We keep doing this. Like I'm talking up the card, you're talking it down, and then I give a lower grade.
Okay, sure. I was gonna be like, oh, like this is like study rig. This is like hit lane knots. This is like a 7, but actually I think it's worse than that, so it's a 6.
Right.
Yeah, I could see it being a 5 as well. I don't know. I just don't think there's that much of a good place for this in white. Like I would rather be doing that.
Wait, you understand that 6 means it's an above average common, okay?
Okay, sure. I'll give it a 5. I'll give it a 5.
You've given one card something less than a 5.
Somehow you by trying to talk it off talked me down to 5.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I'm probably miscalibrated on this scale. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever miscalibrated means.
Yeah.
Would you like to read the next one? Or sorry, is it my turn? It's my turn. Yeah. Yes. Return Triumphant. 1 on the white sorcery. Return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Create a young hero role token attached to it. It has whenever this creature attacks, if its toughness is 3 or less, grow it with a +1/+1 counter. Yes. So, interestingly, this is something that like benefits more for like small creatures than big creatures, right? Like if you put this on a like I don't know, say like a 1/1, if you get back a 1/1 flyer for 1, that's actually like not bad to do because it's gonna grow.
So it's gonna attack for 2 and then 3 and then 4.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I mean, this sort of card, you don't cast it until you have them in the yard already.
Yeah, so late game makes the young hero thing worse, definitely. Recommission was like okay in Brothers War. And like that was a card that came with an immediate +1/+1 counter, which I think is
that's way better.
Well, it can't be bargained is the thing, right? Like bargain is a part of this as well. This gives you
was there not any synergy at all in that set for counters?
No, the Brothers War didn't have counter synergy. Though like
I love it. I am giving this card a 3.
I think this is I think this is like a 4. I don't know.
Right. Next card, Unassuming Sage. 1 and a white for a 2/2 human peasant wizard. 3 types. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 2. If you do, create a sorcerer role token attached to it, which means it gets +1/+1, and whenever it attacks, scry 1. So you can have a bear, or you can have a 4 mana 3/3 that attacks and scries.
That you can bargain.
Interesting modality. Yeah, bargain, celebration, great. But like 4 mana 3/3, bad card.
Yeah. And 2 mana 2/2 also kind of bad card. How much is the modality worth? I think not that much.
This is a 4th common 2-drop.
Yeah, but
they only have 3.
I mean, like, you don't really want to play this 2 mana 2/2, but like, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you just kind of don't want to play it.
If you're playing this card, I assume it's because you are willing to play it as a 2/2 a lot of the time.
That's true. I'm going to give this a 4.
Yeah, alright, 4. And I think it's worse than the tapper. The bear that you basically tap stuff.
Yeah, probably. But I don't know. It's hard to think of like how much the bargain fodder and the celebration matters.
Okay, I guess I gave the tapper also a 4, so that's fine.
Okay. Moment of Valor. Instant for 2 and a white. Choose 1. Untap target creature gets +1/+0 and gains indestructible until end of turn. So you just untap something and hopefully eat something. Or destroy target creature with power 4 or greater.
So it's like Valor or Stance but extra mana.
Yeah, but like Valor Stance that untaps and gives +1/+0, you know?
Yes. But you usually, well, not, I don't know about usually, you often were aiming to use the other mode.
Yeah. I think this is like okay.
Yeah, it's just okay.
I want to give it another 4. I don't know. Maybe a 5.
that's very fair. It's 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I think we should default to 4 for the ones we are not excited about. Okay. Protective Parents, 2 and a white for a 3/2 human peasant. When it dies, create a young hero role attached to up to 1 target creature you control. Which, again, means that when it attacks, if its toughness is 3 or less, it gets a counter. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like a 3-mana 3/2 that you get value when it dies, but like you have to have another creature that you like want to put a young hero role on. It's like clunky in various ways. I want to give this a 3.
Yeah, 3 mana 3/2 is the stat line where I want it to like have an actual upside, not just like a small one.
Yeah.
Unlike the 2 mana 3/1, I don't need much. Be plenty. That ability on a 2 mana 3/1 would be plenty for me.
Yeah.
On the 3 mana 3/2, it's not enough. This is like, when am I actually benefiting from this? Ever.
Yeah.
All right.
Like it needs to die, and then you need to attack with the creature to like even get any value, and then it's still only a +1/+1
Or
counter.
again, you can bargain or whatever. But
yeah, but like imagine like is this like if it said when this dies, put a +1/+1 counter on another target creature you control. Is that good? No, it's not good, right? It's still bad.
Might be better, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but like, anyways.
Yeah.
Savior of the Sleeping. 3 mana, Vigilance, 2/3. Whenever an enchantment control...
I'm going to go to 2 on that card.
A 2 on the Protective Parents? Sure. I'm going to keep it at 3. Yeah. Because, like, I think it's,
fair.
like... Right. It's not going to be the worst.
Sorry, I interrupted. Keep going.
Yeah. Savior of the Sleeping. 2 and a white for a 2/3 Vigilance, Human Knight. Whenever an enchantment you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on this. So, this grows. Interestingly. I think this card is actually quite good.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Like obviously, 3 mana.
That's attacking and blocking.
Yeah, 3 mana 2/3 is like not great, but the Vigilance is very nice for like growing ability.
If it's a 3/4 Vigilance, that is.
Yes.
Doing some combat.
Yeah, like the difference between this card and like the 4 mana 3/4 uncommon thing that we were talking about that like grows when you cast a 5 mana thing is I think it's going to be a lot easier to stack enchantments than to cast 5 mana things. B, 3 is a less than 4, and C, I think like 3 mana 2/3 Vigilance is like better than 4 mana 3/4, and also 3 mana 3/4 Vigilance is better than 4 mana 4/5. Like just, I think it's just better rate overall.
Yeah, the other one had Trample. But Vigilance is better than Trample.
Yes, by a lot.
Right. So, 6.
7. I'm going to be a bit higher.
7? All right.
Yes.
Well, we'll see if there are any cards which you end up lower than me by the end of the review.
Stockpiling Celebrant. 2 and a white. Oh, sorry. It's your turn. Go ahead.
Yes. 2 and a white for a 3/2. Again, it's a Dwarf Knight. Let's see if the upside's any better. When it enters the battlefield, you may return another target non-land permanent you control to your hand, its owner's hand. Okay, you control its owner's hand. If you do, scry 2. Right.
I think this card is quite good because there's a lot of good synergies with it. But you need this.
I mean, obviously you can pick up your 2-drop. That's kind of an absurd curve. Scry 2 and then Scry 2 again?
You mean the Knight thing? No, I think that one says when you put it into your graveyard.
Yeah, it's only when it goes. Yeah, only graveyard.
Okay, so you still scry 2,
but Scry 2 eventually.
Yeah, then it's just a 3 mana 3/2 draw card.
Even better, you get to spread out your scries.
Yeah. You get to draw a card basically when this enters.
Another bear, yeah.
Yeah.
That's an absurd curve. Yeah, this card's gonna see play.
Yeah, and also there's like I don't know. There's the black enchantment version of that, obviously, but like we haven't gone to that yet, and it's not white.
If you're, let's hold on. Like
Prophetic Prism.
Like say you've got like your roll or something that you don't want, and you bring that to your hand and scry 2. That's not getting you anywhere. That's just like a automatic librarian with downside. So you really need something that has an enter battlefield ability for it to actually be good.
Sure, but like also you can, like if you bring back something that your opponent has cursed, for example, that works. Just anything with Anything with a like
A negative aura, yeah.
just something like that, yeah. Adventure creatures also are good with this because you can like get the adventure again. Like, you know, adventures are kind of like ETBs, just like different, you know. I think this card will be quite. I want to give this an 8, but like you need to build around it.
It's too fiddly for me to go that high.
Okay,
I will take 6.
Yeah, I think I'm just optimistic on this. Like, I think
it's certainly quite good when you have something good to bring back, but like it's only good when you have something to bring back that actually does something.
I mean, I think that it like Automatic Librarian isn't even that bad of a card, basically. Is my thought.
I love Automatic Librarian, but it's gonna be worse than that significantly a lot of the time.
Is it? I don't think so. I don't think that much worse. Anyways.
Well, you're just not going to use the ability fairly often, and you don't try to.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm probably overrating it. I'll give this 7, I guess.
Okay.
Besotted Knight. I think it's my turn, right? Yeah. 3 and a white for 3/3 human knight. 4 mana 3/3. It has an adventure, but it has no text. On the like creature side, it's just a 4 mana 3/3 for the creature, and the adventure is white. Betroth the Beast. Sorcery adventure. Create a royal roll attached to target creature you control.
A royal roll means that it has ward 1.
Oh yes, sorry, I forgot to read that part. Yes. So +1/+1 ward 1. So counter and +1/+1. Sorry, counter +1/+1 counter and ward 1.
Ward 1.
And then you get a 4/4. Sorry, 3/3 for 4. I'm very bad at words.
Hard to say on this one.
I agree. Like, how good is 5 mana?
Very average.
5 mana 3/3 put a counter on something. Is that good?
No.
No.
It's fine.
But like, this is better than that slightly.
Better. Significantly. You can just make this on turn 3 or something. You drop plus this. And you play it on 4.
I think this is like decent. I want to give this like a 6.
All right, I was gonna say 4 or 5.
Okay.
I'll go with 5. Another thing is in Eldraine they had like synergies with adventures. There's no synergies with adventures in the set, really. Anyway, we've got Rhyme for Reindeer. 3 and a white for a 3/4 elk. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, tap target creature an opponent controls. So in Theros, there was a unicorn. It's like 5 mana 4/4 with this text, right? So it's a 4 mana 3/4 better. 5 mana 4/4. I want to say yes.
I agree that it's definitely better. And I also think that it's actually easier to get enchantments to enter in this set than in Theros.
Maybe.
Maybe I'm wrong.
There's a whole bonus sheet in all the rolls, so I can see it.
Yeah. Like, Theros paid you off more for doing it, but like, here I think it's easier to do it. So I think this card can be quite good.
Yeah.
It's going to depend on how good that stat line is.
I'm willing to say 6.
I'm going to say 7 and consistently be above you.
Yeah. If you go back now, it would just be consistent. All right, we've got Tuinvale Guide.
Tuinvale Guide, yeah. 3 and a white for a 2/3 flying fairy scout. Celebration. +1/+0 and lifelink. So if you celebrate, this is a 3/3 lifelink flyer, which is quite good. If you don't celebrate, it's a 4 mana. It's a 2/3 flyer. Which is quite bad.
That's some high stakes celebration.
Yeah.
Big difference. I mean, I feel like you're gonna run out of obviously we've seen a lot of things that celebrate, but you're gonna run out of steam eventually.
I agree.
Past turn 4, how many more times are you gonna celebrate?
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm gonna give this.
And on blocks, it's not gonna work on blocks.
I think this is just like a clunky flyer, and I'll give it a 5.
Sounds like you should give it less than a 5.
Okay, I'll give it a 4. Yes, sure.
This is the last white
yes.
common. It's
I 100% agree with that.
It is the only 5-drop. It's a 4 and a white for a 3/3 flying fairy advisor. When it enters the battlefield, create a royal role token attached to another creature you control. Again, royal means that it's +1/+1 and ward 1.
Wait, we just saw this card, right? This is the same card, except with flying, kind of.
True. It is the same card, but with flying.
Except like the other one you can split up.
And obviously you can't split it up. You can't. That's really weird.
What grade did I give the other one?
The other one.
Did I say 6?
Hey, where'd it go? What was it called? Besotted Knight? You said 6, I said 5.
Okay, bump that one back down to 5, and I'm giving this one a 6. I don't know.
Sounds like a deal. I'll do that.
I mean, like, I think it's not actually that big of a difference between these two, because I think splitting it up is a big deal, but, like, the flying is also a big deal. I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah. Flying feels like it has to be a bigger deal. Flying is... I mean, maybe is this card just, like, secretly great?
Maybe. I think... I doubt it. I think it's still a bit too clunky.
And I'm going to go 4 on the previous one.
Okay. I think the previous one is still... I think this one and the previous one are mostly the same, just the previous one is slightly worse. I don't know.
I think it's more than flight. Flying is like... I don't know. I like the flying.
Okay. Well, that's all the white commons. If we're done.
Yeah, alright. It's time for some averages, okay?
Oh, okay.
Oh... What is the average score?
My guess is that I, on average, scored things 1 point higher than you. On average.
No, wait, it has to be less than 1. We often agreed you were sometimes 1 more, but very rarely.
Oh, I thought like sometimes I was 2 more. I thought I was consistently 1 more.
No, we both always. I think we maybe literally always. We never disagreed by more than.
Okay,
1.
okay, sure. Then I'll say 0.5.
But like we would at start, but we would get closer.
Okay,
make it close 1. Yeah, you are 5.57 average or 5.58. I'm 5.10.
Okay.
Or 11.
I think that white looks strong.
What?
So I'm happy with that.
So you're saying white is strong?
Yes.
So yeah, you think you're slightly more than 5 is fair. Mine is also slightly more than 5, but more slight.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of slight.
Good transition. Sleight of hand. Blue, sorcery. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, or of your library, put one of them in your hand, other on the bottom. Just classic cantrip. It is, like, very similar to Opt in power level,
Ooh.
I think.
In power level, okay.
Yes.
Good. I agree. In power level.
Yes. Because, like, there's the sorcery instant difference. Obviously, instant is better. And then look at 2, put 1 in hand, 1 on the bottom is strictly better than scry 1, draw a card, right? Except like scry synergies or draw synergies or whatever. But yeah.
And draw synergies.
Well, if your opponent controls a Shieldred, you don't want to play Opt.
I know. Yeah. I think the extra selection is quite a big deal.
Yes.
I think it's significantly better than Opt for that. And
I think it's hard for it to make that big of a deal in Limited, actually.
Okay, overall, I think it's like Opt, but you always get to bottom a card. Or like you always have to, but like, kind of get to always, Like it's not just like, if you would top, you get to bottom the second card. It's like you get better informed on whether you want to bottom the first card. Anyway.
Yes, I recognize it as better selection. I think that's better selection is not meaningfully different in Limited in a way that I don't think that bumps it up a tier. Basically, I think if this is still like Limited cantrip, it's now slightly better than Opt. Consider it slightly better than Opt.
If it were an instant, I would think it the grade I would give it would be 1 more than Opt.
Okay, yes, I agree with that. But it's not an instant. All right,
yes,
the downside holds it back, a bit. So that's still in the same category as Opt.
Yes, it is the same category as Opt. overall, I will still say slightly better than Opt.
Yes.
That's my take.
Great.
And if
So 6.
you're playing Pioneer, I also recommend playing it instead of Opt.
So do you think 6 is the right place for this? Or do you think Opt is a 5? Okay, great.
Yeah, I like Opt. I will play this in all of my decks with 8 islands or more.
I agree. I think you should okay, maybe I was gonna say you should never cut this card, but you shouldn't play 3 copies probably. Depends on what your deck looks like.
Yeah, I'm talking about the first copy.
Yeah.
First copy. If I don't have any synergy, I might even just stop after 1.
Yeah. Anyways, next card.
Snare Master Sprite is 1 mana, 1 blue mana for a 1/1 flying fairy wizard. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 2. When you do, tap target creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. Wow.
So this is like Frost Trickster from Strixhaven, right? If you pay the 2, it's 3 mana flyer that taps down something, but it's 1/1 instead of 2/2.
Yeah, that's pretty big. I mean,
it's pretty big.
I assume a lot of the value of this card is playing on turn 1.
Yes,
that's fine. Yeah,
but I'm not convinced about that value. Is what I was gonna follow up with. I don't know how much you'll want. I don't know how much you'll want a 1 mana 1/1 flyer. That's a fairy. Fairy is important.
Turn 1, discard. Turn 2, mana leak. Turn 3, mana leak.
To be clear, mana leak on turn 2 is the same as quench on turn 2.
I know. I know.
What you're saying is I have a 1/1 in play and I'm going to counter their spells, and I guess, but you're not getting any value for I don't believe in the blue black deck's ability to get enough value from that the 1/1 is really good or anything. It's just a 1/1 flyer. I don't know. I think this is a 5. I want to say. The stun mode is still very strong.
I think it's more likely to be less than 5 than over 5, honestly.
I agree with that.
I like the card, so I'm going to say 5.
Okay.
I wonder if this card will be played in Pauper.
I don't know what...
Add compared to...
Why are you playing this card in Pauper? Doesn't the 1/1 flyer that Scries 2 exist?
Yeah, you play that one too. This is an addition.
Oh.
You run out of good fairies. Maybe you need a bad fairy.
Slightly skeptical, but I will say I know nothing about Pauper, so Aquatic Alchemist.
There's this deck that plays 8 fairies.
Sure.
Turn 1, and maybe once a 9th fairy.
Okay, sure. Aquatic Alchemist, 1 blue for a 1/3 creature elemental. The creature side is whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, it gets +2/+1 until end of turn. So it's conditionally a 3/3. And notably, you can do combat checks with that as well. And then the sorcery adventure side is bubble up, 2 in the blue, put target instant or sorcery from your graveyard on top of your library, Treason of Isengard, if you will. So the adventure side is quite bad in this. But it doesn't have to be good, bad, right? You'll use it very sparingly when you really want to use it. But there's a big difference between that and the green, white, gold adventure card, where it's 1 mana instant and it can be any card and you can immediately draw a card. That version of putting something on top of your deck is a lot better. This is just slow 3 mana, restrictive, very restrictive even. A lot of bombs are going to be creatures, for example, and this can't get those back. So yeah, I don't know. This card, the front side is not horrible, but
no, I mean, I think the front side is fine. I think you would play it sometimes on its own, right?
Yeah.
I think it's also a 5.
I want to go 4. I'm going to go 4. I'm going to go lower than you.
All right.
I think that the front side is one where You need to be in like a dedicated spells deck, and it's like kind of hard to do that. Especially if you're holding up
that context, and like, maybe I should discount it because it's gonna be bad in other decks.
Yeah, especially if you're going to be playing counter spells. This does not work well with counter spells.
Well, you can block.
Well, yes, but also people usually go to combat first. You know, like the default is to go to combat.
They do sometimes do that. Yeah.
Anyways, you're up.
3's in place. 1 in a blue, 2 mana total for a sorcery that taps target creature an opponent controls and put 3 stun counters on it. Then scry 2.
So with lots of DMU vibes over here. This is like impede momentum, except one fewer stun. Is it one fewer stun counter, one more scry?
It's the same number of stun counters.
Okay,
but it's an additional scry.
Okay.
Other difference: do not target your own thing with this one.
Oh! Wow! What a nerf! You know, I was going to target my own creature, but I guess that ruins my plans.
Yeah.
I mean, impede momentum was like a very, very, very specific deck card, like the blue-red, like very tempo-y spells deck.
Only a specific type of blue. Yeah, and even if it's like medium, I think.
Yeah.
This one is Christ 2. It goes with your blue-white plan. I'm on board. Give it a 4.
Okay, I was worried you would say like a number bigger than 5 for I'm on board. But I should know by now that you never grade things.
I would have given it 2.
Okay. I mean, okay, sure. I want to give this a 3. I'm not a believer.
Okay, great. So I'm higher on blue so far than you. That's good.
Living Lictern.
All right.
1 in the blue for a 0/4 artifact creature construct. So you can bargain this. And you can also sacrifice a different way. As a sorcerer, you can pay 1, sack it, you draw a card, and you create a sorcerer role token attached to up to 1 other target creature you control. Notably, if that fizzles, if your thing gets removed in response to you using this ability, you don't draw the card either.
No, it says up to 1.
Yes, yeah, but like if you targeted something.
That's right.
Yeah.
Unlucky. Only as a sorcery. Damn, this card sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty bad. Like
whenever the creature attacks, scry 1. This is a sorcerer roll.
So this is a like 2 mana 0/4 is not great. It's quite bad even. And then you can like pay an additional mana, so like 3 mana but split up in order to draw a card and put a like sorcerer roll on something. Like, it's not the worst deal, I guess. It's not the worst, but it's also quite whatever, right?
Yeah. I'm giving this card a 3.
Okay. Hear me out. This is I'm going to lay out the best case scenario for this card, right? Or like a play pattern that I could see trying to do with this card. Turn 1, 1 mana, 1/1 flyer. Turn 2, this card. Turn 3, sack this, target your 1/1 flyer, make it a 2/2 that scries when it attacks, and hold it counter spells the rest of the game.
That's not good enough.
Okay, great. I'm glad you agree. But like, it's neat that you can like sack it on turn 3 and hold up counter.
A good play pattern for this card is going to involve keeping it on the board and blocking with it many turns in a row, and then eventually sacrificing it.
That's true, I guess.
That's what I want to do with this card, but I don't want to do that either.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on 3. Well, here's your mana leak.
Spell Setter, 1 in a blue for an instant. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 2, plus an additional 1 for each fairy you control.
I'm disappointed that this card doesn't read counter target spell with mana value X, where X is the number of fairies you control, or X or less. But that's just a flavor thing, or a callback thing, a Melvin thing, if you will.
Yes.
I mean, this can kind of just be counterspell. In a blue-black. I could imagine in a blue-black deck that's just being like it's very easy in a blue it's very easy for it to be like counter unless they pay 4, right? Like in a blue-black deck.
There's a lot of upside on a quench.
Yeah.
I would have it a 7.
And like it scales well as a quench as well, because like as I said before, a quench on turn 2 is the same as a mana leak on turn 2. And then like as you get later and later into the game, you're like more and more likely to have like more fairies. Yeah, I like this card.
And there are a lot of cards that aren't even like for the fairy scene that seem to happen to be fairies. Mm-hmm. There was a white card that was a fairy somehow.
Mm-hmm. Is that the 5 mana 3/3?
Yeah.
This thing?
The 3/3 flyer. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I like 7.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm just I wonder, adventures seem worse for this card, like the existence of adventures, because like if you have a cheap adventure, like for example the 1 mana creative royal roll, right? Like ideally you want to counter that, but you can't because it's 1 mana, and they can either just pay to like draw a card roughly, or just like let it go and like they only spent 1 mana, you know. It's weird.
I think overall adventures are a good thing for the card because you get to counter both sides at once eventually.
Sure.
It doesn't always work out that way.
Yeah. Stormkell's Prowler. One in the blue for a 2/1 creature human rogue. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, put 2 counters on this. 2 is a lot of counters. 5 is a lot of mana.
Yeah, that is. Oh. 4/3, 6/5. 6/5 if you do it twice. For your 2-drop.
Yeah, this could be a powerful card. But okay, like the problem is like, are you going to play your 2-drop and then not like use it at all before turn 5?
If you trade off, it's okay. Who cares if you trade off?
Okay, yeah, that's fair. But like, sometimes you can't trade off a 2/1, you know.
2/1s are the reason 2/1s are bad is because they're bad in the late game. You're not complaining about how they act in the early game.
I think you're bad. I think the reason is because they're bad in the mid game, and this is still bad in the mid game. Like the reason why 2/1 specifically can be
turn 5 is the mid game does not start until turn 5, and by turn 5 it's the 4/3.
No, I'm thinking like I don't know. You play this on turn 2, you can't even block a rat token with it. Then on turn 5, you cast a 5-drop, and it still trades for a 3/3 or a 3/2. Like,
that's okay. That's okay.
I think it's going to be like I don't think I can't give this higher than a 6 or 5. I don't know.
I was going to give it a 6.
Okay, great. I'm glad we're somewhat on the same page there. I think I'm going to give it a 5.
Yeah, well,
I just don't like things that pay you off for casting 5 or greater, apparently.
Okay.
Oh, so unless there were like things that can let you cheat on like 5 or greater, right? I don't think there is. I don't think there's very much that you can like cast on turn 4 that triggers this. But if there were, I would be a lot more into it.
Yeah. We got Water Wings. 1 in a blue for an instant until end of turn. Target creature you control has base power and toughness 4/4 and gains flying and hexproof.
Weird card.
Oh man.
It doesn't draw a card.
Yeah, like the ceiling on this actually seems a little bit low, honestly.
Yeah. I think this is like a 3.
Yeah, it's just a shame. I have to agree.
There's also just like not synergies like I don't know, like random fractals with that are base power 0/0 or whatever. Like I don't know. Diminisher Witch.
Oh yeah.
2 in the blue, bargain. When it enters the battlefield, if it was bargained, create a curse roll attached to target creature and opponent controls. So you can bargain one of your things in order to curse an opponent. But if you don't, it's just a 3 mana 3/2.
This is basically Bone Splinters with a 3/2.
I think basically Bone Splinters is
overrating. Quite a lot, actually. There's plenty of ways to get rid of that cursed roll token. Right? Or I guess maybe not, because if they create a roll token, it doesn't throw away your cursed roll token, right?
Yeah, no, they can't just play a roll and get rid of it. That doesn't work. But they could bargain their creature and then diminish your witch, but then you broke even.
Wait, they can't bargain their creature if it's not an artifact or an enchantment. But
that's true. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was thinking about bargain the wrong way. I thought you could just sack creatures if you needed to.
No.
But that has to be a token. Yeah. All right.
But I feel like a 1/1. I don't like that it leaves behind a 1/1. You know, even if you can't always bargain that,
it also leaves behind a 3/2 for you. You got a 3/2.
Well, I mean, yes, but you also had to sack something, right? You had to bargain something.
Yeah. Look, it's just like a good exchange. You get a 1/1, they get a It
depends. It depends so much on how good their thing is. It depends so much on how good their thing is. Right.
Well, you hit their best creature that's in play.
Yeah, but sometimes that's just a 3/3. I don't know, 3/3 no text.
That's fine. That's totally fine.
You sacked a thing and paid 3 mana, so you get a 3/2, and your opponent's 3/3 becomes a 1/1.
Yeah.
I don't think that's good enough. I also suspect blue will have more trouble bargaining than other colors.
Yeah, wait. Okay, hold on.
Because red has rats, black and white have random enchantments, green has food. Blue gets nothing.
I don't know, it's in that scenario, it's you upgrade whatever you sacrifice into a 3/2. You downgrade their thing. You did 2 things for 3 mana.
Well, yeah, but you wouldn't pay 3 mana to upgrade your thing, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't even play a 1 mana 3/2 sacrifice. Would you play a 1 mana 3/2 bargain? Forced bargain? No, right?
Forced bargain? No.
Yeah, and you wouldn't pay 1 mana.
You can do both. It's like making 2 tokens. You know.
You wouldn't pay 1 mana to downgrade their thing, and you wouldn't pay 1 mana to upgrade your thing, and obviously jamming the 2 cards together makes it better. But I don't know.
Yes, it makes it much better. It's you get to do both and also draw a card.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
I'm gonna give it a 7.
I'm gonna give this a 5.
Okay.
Is this our first distance 2 disagreement?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, great.
It is.
I'm glad.
Is it my turn?
I think so.
Yeah. Ice out. 2 blue for an instant, which says counter target spell.
It's 1 blue, by the way.
It costs 1 less to cast if it was bargained.
Yes, it's 1 blue. It's cancel, counter spell if you bargain instead.
Yes. Yeah.
Disruption protocol, except more supported, I guess.
Well, but disruption protocol, the cost if you had it enabled was negligible.
Yeah. I don't like this card. It's
I'm a sucker for a cancel.
I think that it's not much better than a cancel. It's very much not that much better than the cancel.
Yeah, there's pretty minor upside, but they always give very minor upside on these.
Well, I don't know. It's not as Saruman's Trickery or something, you know.
That card was busted, right? That was
yes,
the best card ever.
But I don't know. I think this card is a 5.
You said 4?
I said 5.
Oh, good. Okay, that means I can pay 6. Okay. That's all I wanted to say in the beginning.
Okay, well, Merfolk Coralsmith, 2 in the blue, 2/3, 1 water breathing, +1/-1 until end turn. When it dies, scry 2. So you can play this as a 6 mana scry 2 do nothing. if you really want.
That's what I was thinking too. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Yeah.
This card's
cool.
pretty bad.
Oh, would this card be better if it were a 1/4?
If it were a 1/4 flyer, it would be better. Give it shapeshifter as well.
No, but, yeah, all right. But what if it was just a 1/4 though? Would it be better?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it'd be worse.
Yeah.
It's fine. I think you can like trade for their 4/4 and then Scry 2.
I don't like paying 5 mana to trade for their 4/4 in Scry 2.
I'm not thrilled about it either, I suppose.
I think this is a 4.
It's unfortunate. Yeah,
Unfortunate, indeed.
Fucking Sprite. 2 and a blue for a 2/1 flying fairy rogue. It says instant and sorcery spell you cast costs 1 less to cast.
I don't like this.
A haughty gem.
That's a bold claim right there. I don't like this. It's like I don't know.
You got 4, play this, hold up mana leak.
I mean, I guess. Okay, that's maybe
It's
enough to
pretty
for me to
small.
give it a 6. I don't want to go higher. I don't like 3 mana 2/1s with flying.
I mean, let's see. All your adventure creatures. So one thing I noticed is that blue has like way more common adventure creatures than any other color. Blue and green, I think. Oh, blue and red. Sorry, blue and red have the most, and it's because they needed to have more spells in those colors.
Yeah.
So they made some of the creatures adventure. So like, there are a lot of things you can discount.
Yes, but like the adventure creature we've seen so far, you don't want to play the adventure very often. It's the 2 and a blue, like Trees and the Horizon card, like top deck
Okay,
thing, right?
that's fine. That's fine.
I don't know. I want to give this a 6 at most.
Is that 6?
I want to give this either a 5 or a 6. I'm leaning more towards 5, honestly.
Yeah, we'll pick one.
5.
Yeah, I said 6.
Okay. Whose turn is it?
Yours.
It's my turn. Okay. Quick study. Divination at instant speed. That's all it is. Divination at instant speed. That makes it better, certainly. A lot better.
Yeah, I'm thrilled that they made this card finally.
Yeah.
And I like it. I
think this is like 7. I want to say.
Whoa. Wow. That's higher than I was going to say.
That's higher than you were going to say. No, I just think that like if there's anything blue wants to do, it's to play a tempo game at instant speed. Like that's the only impressive cards I've seen from blue is like tempo game instant speed. Like the mana leak variant, like cheap flyers, that kind of thing.
Okay. I was nervous that you were not going to let me give it a 7.
No.
Talk me down to 6 or something.
No. Divination instant speed is a good card.
Yeah, I agree.
Great.
All right, Julian's Stopgap. 3 and a blue for a sorcery that returns target non-land permanent to its owner's hand and draw a card. And you can bargain it to make it cost 2 less.
This is a card I'm into as well.
Yeah, it's like, sorcery into the royal sort of thing.
Yep.
Except instead of like, the combination of things is different, and sometimes you can actually just play it for 2 mana. Sorcery is pretty rough, but pretty efficient
like
too.
just think of this as like Tellurian Geyser, right? Like bounce something, draw a card. Sorcery speed. But like
3 mana. Roughly.
But
it's
like,
worse than Tellurian Geyser, I guess.
It's probably worse than Tellurian Geyser, but like its costing is actually better than Tellurian Geyser. A chance to play it for 2 and like with a default of 4 is better than a 3-cost card, because 2 is like more or less than 3 is than 4.
Oh, you're saying Geyser's only better because of the life gain?
Yes, and context. I think context is also better.
I think having to bargain is pretty rough. Like, I think it costs more than 3 on average.
Sorry, I guess what I'm saying is like when you get an option like that, you can like take advantage of the option, right? Like it is with something like this, you can build around it to make it better, and so it's better.
What are you trying to say? It's an 8?
I'm trying to say that this is either 7 or 8, and I can't decide. So I'm going to go 8 because I want to like I want to like something in blue, and this is the thing I'm going to choose to like in blue. Misleading moats. 3 in the blue instant. Target creature's owner puts it on top or bottom of their library. We've seen this a lot of times. It's perfectly fine removal spell.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, blue's great.
No, I think this is like a 7 or something. I don't know. It's like fine.
What?
4 mana this effect is like 4 mana this effect is only fine. I don't know. And like if this is like the most exciting thing blue has to offer, I don't think blue's good.
A deck full of 7s is all I know.
But you can't get a deck full of 7s. I'm saying I feel like this is the top end of blue. Like whereas like the last 3 cards are like the better blue cards, and they're not enough to like make.
This next one is also great.
Okay, well, what's the next one?
We've got Vantress Transmuter. It's an adventure creature. Provoking Curse is the adventure 1 in a blue for a sorcery that taps target creature and puts a cursed roll token attached to it, which makes it a 1/1. Then the creature part is just a screen of blue for a 3/4 human wizard.
Oh, that is a pretty good card. It's a very good card.
It's very good.
It's like, the Frogify kind of enchantment is not good removal, but when it's attached to a free 3/4 for 4, it's very good.
And it taps it. So they don't get the chump right away.
Yep. I like it.
Yeah, I said 8.
I like that. I like 8.
Yeah.
You can also stopgap this.
In the Joanne stopgap.
You can also stopgap this. You can bounce it to your hand. Draw a card. Play it again.
I suppose you could.
I don't know. You just want to like curse something else, Sometimes. Really late game. Into the Fate Court. 3 blue, draw 3, create a fairy token. 1/1 flyer that can only block flying. Can't block ground creatures.
Cool.
I think this is kind of bad.
You think how much worse than Unexplained Vision? You think it is?
A lot worse. I think that, like, for one thing, you can't even cast it for a single pip. Like, you have to have the double pip, right?
But obviously I have the double pip.
Okay, sure.
Blue deck.
Oh, sure. But if you have the double pip, you might as well have the triple pip. And if you have the triple pip, like, then Unexplained Vision is draw 3, scry 3. That's so much better than draw 3, make a 1/1 like that can't block.
I do have triple pips for Unexplained Vision as well. The question is how much better is scry 3?
A lot better. A 1/1 that can't block when you're playing a draw 3 is not good.
It can block flyers, but it's a lot worse.
Yeah. I think that makes this like a 5 or... Yeah, I'm going to go with 5.
Yeah, 6.
Okay.
Like draw 3. Maybe 6 is kind of a... no, I have to say 6 on principle. Right. Obira's Attendance is another adventure. The adventure part is 1 in a blue for an instant. Target creature gets -4/-0 until end of turn. The creature is 4 in a blue for a 3/4 fairy wizard with flying.
This is good.
Nice. Yeah.
This is
the other adventure creature, but
this is Arcane Subtraction.
Very serviceable. Yeah. Arcane Subtraction learned, and I believe this is much better than a lesson.
No, I disagree. I think that this is worse than the text draw a 5-mana 3/4 with flying is worse than learn. Because of the selection you get from Learn, like a lot better than
Learn was better than draw a card.
Yes, it's better. This is better than having a single lesson in your sideboard and playing Arcane Subtraction.
Yes.
But this is worse than Arcane Subtraction on average.
I mean, it's actually not that close. Like Learn was better than draw a card, right?
Yes.
And drawing this card is worse than drawing a card.
Yes.
Oh, actually, that makes me not as excited.
I think this is still a good card. Arcane Subtraction was a good card. I don't know. Like, this is perfectly serviceable. I think this is like...
I mean, I'm not giving it more than a 6.
I was going to say 7. I was thinking about 6, but I'm going to say 7.
Wow, the adventures don't stop.
Balluna's Gatekeeper. 5 from the blue for a 6/5 vanilla creature, except it has an adventure. Adventure is entry denied when the blue for a sorcery. Return target creature you don't control with mana value 3 or less to its owner's hand. I think this card is very whatever.
It's pretty comparable to the previous one.
No.
It's not like similar, but I think it's about equally good.
I disagree. Like, I strongly disagree. I think 6 mana 6/5 is a lot worse than 5 mana 3/4 flyer.
I think the adventure's better.
I think the adventure's worse as well. This is a sorcery. Wow. It can only hit small creatures.
Yeah, sorcery.
It will never give you it will never give you that much value, and in fact sometimes it will be very awkward to play it because because you don't want to bounce
it. You just cast it turn 2 on the draw. It's turn 2 on the draw, you just cast the adventure.
I mean, sure, like you can do that with the other one as well, and the other one lets you win combats. That's why that kind of
card the other one you cast on turn 2, it doesn't do anything. It just gains a couple life.
It's similar to this one, right? Like it's slightly better. It's slightly worse turn 2, like when you haven't done anything, but like it's a lot better if you have, right? It's a lot better on turn 3.
If you get to use it as a combat trick to actually get a card value, that's huge.
The ceiling is a lot better. The creature is a lot better. It has a slightly worse floor, but whatever.
Wait, I mean, you can bounce a token with this thing, right? That's the similar ceiling.
If you bounce a token and get it bargained.
Most bargain is not instant speed. There's some, but not most of it's not.
Sure, okay, great. You bounced a token. You bounced to 1/1 rat. That's still a lot. That's like the ceiling of this card, maybe. No, not really. The ceiling,
I'm gonna bounce the 2/2 vigilance.
Okay, sure. That's a ceiling, but I don't know. I still think the other one's a lot better than this. I think the creature side being a lot better is a big selling point as well.
I'm willing to go to 5.
I think this is a 4.
Okay, 5.
I think this card is a 4.
Right. And for the averages, I think I was higher on blue than you were.
Yes, I think you were more higher on blue than me than I was higher on white than you. If that makes sense.
We'll see about that.
While you're calculating that, I'm going to also go quickly grab some water. BRB. Okay, I'm back.
Right. Which color do you like more, blue or white?
White by a lot.
Okay. Your ratings match that, not by a lot.
Okay.
You said so. For white, it was 5.6 for you, 5.1 for me. Difference of almost 0.5. For blue, it's 5.3 for you and 5.4 for me. So smaller difference, but we did it cross.
Interesting.
I'm higher on white. I'm higher on blue.
Yeah. I thought I would be lower than that. I think you talked me. I think it's the back half here was somewhat good, and you also talked me up on some cards. Yeah.
Right. Okay. If there was only one card in blue that you rated higher than me, but there wasn't one, and there's. Yeah.
What was the card? Maybe it was Stopgap. Oh, yeah. I think it might have been Stopgap.
Oh, Bureau's Attendance. You rated higher than
Which
me.
one is that? Oh, it's the -4
second to last one.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think it's your turn.
It's fine.
No, yeah, it's your turn.
We got Hopeless Nightmare, which is a enchantment for 1 black mana. It says when it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card and loses 2 life. And then when it's put into a graveyard from the battlefield, scry 2. And 2 and a black to sacrifice it. Wow. So I'd rather have a 2/2 vigilance.
Yes, that's true.
The ability, but it also costs 1 mana instead of 2.
Yes.
So it's quite comparable, I think.
Yeah, I think this
Maybe
card is a
slightly
9.
worse overall.
I think this is still a 9.
Still a 9. All right, I gotta rethink it again.
This is Virus Beetle. It's actually even quite similar to Virus Beetle, but this is Virus Beetle.
Sure. I mean, Virus Beetle is a card that has existed many times, and it varies a lot how good it is.
Well, sure. Sorry, when I say Virus Beetle, I mean specifically the card Virus Beetle from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, not
which I did not play very much.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
what are you saying? Hello?
I'm just worried that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hi. I'm just worried that like the 2 life is pretty big.
The 2 life is pretty
Yeah,
big.
this is really good. It doesn't do the celebration thing that the white one did.
No, but like black is not a celebration color.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't have like. Does it have like just black and discarding cards? Is it synergized that way somehow? No, it doesn't.
I mean, black can be attritionally, I think, and I think black does more bargaining.
Right, but there's no.
I think the thing is that black does more bargaining than white does.
Is that?
I mean, I would just expect it to.
Black has
just
the rats archetype,
Yeah.
and it's got the food archetype. Those are most bargaining.
Yeah, I would just expect, like, not if you only told me what bargain did, I would expect black to have more cards for it because, like, it's a sacrifice mechanic.
Yeah, no, that's right. I was just making sure that like the strategies were also in that direction.
So where are you getting it?
All right. I mean, I can't decide between 8 and 9.
Okay.
I'll say 8 for now, but I might come back later as we. All right. Your turn.
Not dead after all. Instant for black. Until end of turn, target creature you control gains. When it dies, return it to the battlefield tapped. Then create a wicked roll attached to it. So this is like a lot of other cards that we've seen in the past, like just black trick that like let something come back after it dies with a small buff on it. Feign Death is very comparable, except it also comes with a life loss, so which is nice. And the token can be bargained as opposed to just a counter. So I think this is quite good.
This is strictly better. Yeah.
Not
Are you aware that
strictly,
this card is like strictly better than a card which is a 6 of in a modern deck?
No. I'm aware. It's not actually strictly better, right? It's slightly. It's a bit of a like. I mean,
unless you have synergies with +1/+1 counters,
yes,
it is strictly better, right?
Well, I'm saying like synergies with +1/+1 counters is like the reason why it's not strictly, but yeah.
In the modern deck, it's strictly better.
Okay, sure. Well, maybe you have like destroy all enchantments. Maybe your opponent plays Force of Vigor on like one thing and like gets 2 things instead.
Yes, thank you, Jason. Thank you. That's enough. All right. All right. I don't remember how good these cards are.
They're good.
They're probably pretty solid. Yeah.
It depends on what on the. Oh, sorry. They are worse in the set because there's not very many ETB card effects because they're in adventure effects instead.
And like you can't just sacrifice your creatures that easily. They need to be tokens. But then there's something doesn't work on tokens.
I think it's still good. I'm gonna say 7. Maybe 6.
I'm willing to copy you because I don't.
I think I'm actually gonna. No, I think 7. I think this gives you enough material with the Wicked Roll token.
All right.
And
Rat
1
out.
mana is good.
Single black mana for an instant. It says up to 1 target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. You create a rat token.
So this is worse than things like this we've seen in the past because the rat token can't block. One thing that, like, for example, there was a card in original Dominaria, Fungal Infection, which is -1/-1, create a Saproling. You could use that to kill a 2/2.
It's actually better because you don't need a target for this one.
I don't know if I would say that that's better.
Yeah, it's overall much worse.
Yes.
But
it is funny that you don't need to target that guy.
I kind of don't like this card.
Yeah.
Thinking about like Whisper of the Dross and 1.
Yeah, I think this is like the fact that like you don't get. It's hard to make use of the -1/-1 because the rat token doesn't block, and like this is not that great in a aggressive deck. You usually can't use it to clear a blocker, and that's what your rat token wants you to be, right? Aggressive, or like pushes you a bit more in that direction.
So I said 4.
I think 4 is very fair. Next up, Warehouse Tabby, 1 mana, 1/1, cat. Whenever an enchantment you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, create a rat. And also it has 1 on the black, it gains Death Touch until end of turn. So 1 mana, 1/1, you can pay 2 to make it like a Death Toucher, so it can trade with whatever for some mana. And it also gives you a source of rats as enchantments die.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah, I like it too. I mean, the activated ability is going to be a little annoying to keep up sometimes, but you don't need to like actually pay it. You just keep it up.
Yeah.
But then like once you're doing that, it's just going to make like 2 or 3 rat tokens over the course of the game, and that's really big for just 1 mana investment.
Yep.
I will say 6.
I like. I kind of want to say 7, but it's like kind of bad on defense. But like the Death Touch is good on defense. But the value is like basically the value doesn't fit as well into a defensive deck.
You have to wait a while to get your rats. First you have to play an enchantment, then you have to make it die.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna be on 6 as well.
Alright, Barrow Naughty, 1 and a black for a 1/3 fairy with flying, and it has lifelink whenever you control another fairy, or as long as. And for 2 and a black, you can give it +1/+0 until end of turn. Okay.
If it has lifelink, it's just good, right? 2 mana, 1/3 flying lifelink is just good.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm hoping to control more fairies, but that does make it kind of a narrow card.
Yeah. Like without the lifelink, it's like a 4, I think.
Less. I think it's a 3 without the lifelink. Like if that line was just not there.
Yeah. I want to give the 4. I think maybe. Oh, really? You still think it's? Yeah, maybe. Sure. I'll go up to 5. I'll join you on 5.
You were thinking 4 before.
Yeah. Candy Grapple.
Okay.
1 in the black instant. -3/-3 to target creature. You can bargain it to make it -5/-5 instead. I mean, this is like always a 9, basically. This kind of thing, where it's like
wow, ow.
Where it's like
that's wild.
Like usually it's like -2/-2 base kicker to like get like -5, but now it's -3/-3 at base, which is
that's kind of wild.
Yeah,
but yeah, no.
It's very efficient kill spell.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if I really think these cards are 9s, but I guess they kind of are.
I think just like the cheap interaction is like always like very, very good, right?
Yeah. All right.
Like I claim shock is a 9, usually.
Wait,
just shock, just base shock.
I don't agree with that update. Without upside, I don't agree.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, Minstrosity, the spooky card. All right, 1 and a black for a 3/1, or when it dies, create a food token. Okay, that's all I need. I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
With this card.
Yeah, it's like
I'll play 6.
Yeah, I think 6 is very fair. I think you could like synergize it up to 7, but like 6 is like good baseline.
Yeah.
Sugar Rush, 1 in black instant. Target creature gets +3/+0 until on the turn. Draw a card. Black seems kind of aggressive.
Is it better or worse than Blade Brand?
Well, I think better. I think like the case for Blade Brand is better is like when you have a 1/1 against an X5. And I think that's not going to happen that much compared to you deal 3 damage to face.
I agree, it is better than Blade Brand. I think you'll cycle it for 3 damage fairly often.
Yes. Oh, and it's also very nice because Blade Brand, you often cycled it for 0 damage. This is a lot... for 0 effect even. This is a lot easier to like cycle for some effect.
Yes.
As baseline. So I think
Absolutely.
I want to give this a 7.
It's still like... Yeah, Blade Brand is unfortunately not a very good card to begin with, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Depends on the form. I'm going to say 7 still. I think that this has potential, but...
Okay. Wicked Visitor is 1 in a black for a 2/2 Nightmare. Whenever an enchantment you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life.
It's kind of whatever.
I mean, I'd rather have a rat, but... I'd rather have a 2-mana 2/2 than a 1-mana 1/1.
Even though the 1/1 can get Death Touch.
Death Touch.
I think I'd rather have the. I think I'd rather have the.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have the Death Toucher actually.
Yeah.
The Death Touch ability.
Yeah. So
this card is not good.
I think this is like a 4.
It actually doesn't seem that bad.
I want to say it's a 4.
Yeah, like all that, and it still seems kind of reasonable.
And like, yeah, I think this is mostly a 2-mana 2/2. It'll maybe ding your opponent for 1, but. Now, if it drained instead of saying like just dinging them, that would be like pretty good. But okay, Conceited Witch. I think I vaguely mentioned this before. 2 in the black for a 2/3 menace. Human Warlock. That's the only text, except it has an adventure. Price of Beauty. Black sorcery adventure. Create a Wicked Roll token attached to target creature you control. It's the Wicked Roll is +1/+1, and when it goes to the graveyard. Ding for 1, like they lose. Your opponent loses life.
Deals 1 damage.
Yeah,
loses life. Yeah.
Specifically when the roll goes to the graveyard.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I like this better than the royal white one, like the one that's like white.
Way better.
Royal roll.
Way better.
And then like that
was a 3. That was a 4-mana 3/3.
Yeah, 4-mana 3/3. This is a 3-mana 2/3 menace.
That's not close.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think, I don't know how to compare the Wicked Roll to the Royal Roll. Probably a little worse.
I think it's a little. I think it's actually pretty comparable. No, I think it's either comparable or a little worse. It's not going to be better. I think. Like there are spots where it's better, but like overall, I don't think.
Okay, but overall, this card is better. This card is 7.
Yeah, I think I like that. I think it's like good enough upside.
All right, we've got Feed the Cauldron, 2 in a black for an instant that destroys target creature with mana value 3 or less. If it's your turn, make a food token. Okay, mana value 3 or less. That is not trading up. Still solid. I don't know though. I think this is worse than the finish rate, for example.
I mean, like, sorry. When are you saying defenestrate as specifically something that's worse than murder? Like this is you're saying that this is like a couple steps down from murder?
I think it's worse than defenestrate.
Yeah.
This card is worse than defenestrate.
Okay, so like as in like,
defenestrate's not murder. Defenestrate, the only thing kills things is not flying.
Yeah. Okay. Great. I don't know. Like I think this card is. I think this card is quite good. Like 3 or less. Like I guess you're never trading up on mana. Is the. Yeah. I guess mana value 3 or less is a lot worse than power 3 or less.
I don't know. This food token is really a consolation prize for when it's not doing anything cool, which is never does anything cool. So it is not going to be premium. It's just going to be like 6.
I like a food token though. But I think I agree with you that like it can't be that much. It can't be that high. I think it's like border between 6 and 7, maybe. I don't know. I don't care that much. I'll give
unfortunately, that is not an option.
I'll give it a 6.5, but that rounds down to 6.
No, it rounds down to 6.
Yes, that's what. Yeah.
Interesting claim, but I will agree.
Rowan's Grim Search, 2 in the black, instant bargain. If it was bargained, you first look at the top 4 cards of your library, put 2 of them back, 2 is in your graveyard. Specifically, you have to choose 2 and 2. And then you draw 2 cards and you lose 2 life. So basically, this is, if you bargain it, you look at 4, take 2, bin 2, and lose 2 life. If you don't bargain it, it's divination, lose 2 life. Yeah.
Huh.
Technically, there's weird effects that can make it slightly different than that, but yeah, it's...
Overall, I think this is worse than just the divination card.
Yes, definitely. Like, obviously, if you don't bargain it, it's worse, and if you do bargain it, you're kind of, like, using a bargain to save a mana, because, like, we've seen look at top 4, take 2, bin the other 2 for 4 mana before, taking 2 life as well. So, like, I think... Yeah, I think this card is, like, pretty medium. Like, a 4. The one recent comparison for this is what? Shadow Prophecy from DMU. I know we keep comparing to DMU, but...
Wait, Flying says we're wrong. It's not 2 and 2. It's up to 2 back. You can dump them all if you don't like any.
Oh, you can dump them all. Okay, I didn't realize that you could just dump them all. I thought it had to be 2 and 2. Okay, I guess that's better.
Makes it a lot
then it's like Scry 4, kind of. Draw 2.
Well,
or Surveil 4, kind of.
It's that though, because you can't keep more than 2.
Yes. Well, I feel like usually when you Scry 4, you don't. But like, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. If you would want to keep 3, then you have to bin one of them. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Oh, but you bargain to do that. Like, is the extra value from the selection?
I'm gonna give this a 5. I'm gonna say this. I think this is a 5. This feels like Shadow Prophecy to me, which I think was a
I'm there. 5 it is. Wait, where is it? Sorry, I got lost.
Sweet Tooth Witch?
Yeah, Sweet Tooth Witch. 2 in the black for a 3/2 human warlock. Enters the battlefield, make a food token. 2, sack of food. Target player loses 2 life.
They they made kind of the same.
Are you going to talk about Vampire Spawn? Okay, good. Okay, that was the other thing I thought you might talk about.
Yeah. They're very similar cards. It's 1/3 versus 3/2, but like the food sack is.
Wait, but hold on. This doesn't have to tap, right? So
it doesn't have to tap, but the food sack only does 2, not 3.
But that's actually like that was one of the constraints with this card in Eldraine. You couldn't just like turbo all your food into damage.
That's true. And also a 3/2 is better than a 1/3, like quite a bit.
It's just fireballs them. Every mana is a damage. And yeah, obviously the stat line is completely different.
Yeah, and so much better, yeah.
So I'm down for this card. This is enough upside.
Is it like a 6 kind of upside or a 7 kind of upside?
Yes. For me, it's a 6.
I think that this is a 7. I think that 3/2 make a food is like a 6. Maybe I'm overrating food.
No. 3/2 make a food. I will.
Okay, I'm glad Nora agrees with me. Yeah. This is a 7.
The premium black 3-drop common. Okay, I don't remember what the other ones were.
Well, there was the 2/3 menace.
2/3 menace.
And that's the one we've seen before.
I kind of prefer that one.
I disagree. I think this is
I don't think either of them are like... I don't think either of them are premium.
I think you're underrating like just getting a game object. Like on ATB, on a 3/2.
I love game objects. Food is one of my least favorite game objects.
I enjoy having.
I think rolls are better than foods. I think. Treasure tokens are better than foods.
Okay, treasure tokens are definitely better, but I'm not convinced that roll is actually better.
Okay.
I think that one's close to me, but yeah, depends on the roll, I guess, maybe. Anyways,
yeah.
I think I'm up next.
Yeah,
Voracious.
No, it is you. It's you.
Yeah. 2 in the black for a 2/1. Not very good so far. ETB, make a black rat. Okay, sure. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on this.
Okay, so when you see a card that has a bad stats, you shouldn't prejudge it. You should say, "Oh, it has so much room for an awesome ability."
Well, so okay, the reason why I say not looking good so far is because if something has bad stats, I think people tend to overrate the importance of words and underrate the importance of stats.
That's right. And if it had good stats, then it can't be bad, no matter what the words are. Yeah. They don't make that many downsides.
Yes. Not very many. There's can't block is the most relevant downside. Yeah. But anyways, this card specifically, I think is bad, and I think a lot of that is because it has bad stats. I think that a 3-mana 2/1 that comes with a rat.
So it comes with your rat.
I don't think that's
rats. And then when
2
you
rats?
just die,
it
grows, but it's
if it comes with a rat, if you sack the rat, it's a 3/2, and that's not good enough. A 3/2 with the growing ability is not good enough, definitely, right? And if the rat doesn't die, I don't know, it doesn't seem like nearly good enough rate for me. I think you can trick yourself into thinking oh wow, this is 2 game objects, and it has other text where it grows as well, but I think it grows too slowly. I feel like they do this a lot, where they put growing text on something that's a 2/1, and then people don't realize that a 2/1 grows into a 3/2 and then a 4/3, and all of those are kind of medium. I think it's easy to trick yourself into thinking that a 4/3 is a lot better than this. 4/3 still trades down.
Right. A 4/3?
Yeah, if this grows twice. Right, you might think oh, this is going to if this voracious vermin grows twice, I'll have a 4/3. But the 4/3 is not very impressive. You need it to grow 3 times before it actually is anything impactful like that.
But you got your rat.
Well, yeah.
It grows twice. I'm worried it's not even going to grow once.
I mean, sorry. What I'm saying is even in the stretch goal, it's not great.
It came with a rat. If it grows twice, I get my 4/3 and my 1/1. I'm happy. But it's not going to grow twice. It's going to grow less than twice on average.
Okay, so do we agree that this is a 3 or a 4?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I'll say 3.
I'm down to say 3. My first instinct was 3, and I'm maybe I should be a bit easier on this.
I'm not super confident this card is bad, but a lot of times there are just these cards that seem mediocre, and then you just never play them. So they're just 3s or less even. Yeah. Alright. Ariet's Whisper, 3 in a black, sorcery. Target opponent discards 2 cards and create a wicked roll token attached up to 1 creature you control. That's a +1/+1 aura that makes your opponent lose life when it goes to the graveyard. So,
how good is Mind Rot if you make it cost 1 more and give you variance on the upside? I claim not that much.
It gets better.
I agree that this is better than Mind Rot. I don't think it's meaningfully better than Mind Rot in a way that makes it more than a 5. I would say a 4 maybe for this card.
I'll say 5.
Okay.
5 and 4. Like Mind Rot. What can I say?
Okay, Fell Horseman, 3 in the black for a 3/3. With when it dies, put it on the bottom of its owner's library. So you can't loop it with
its Murderous Rider.
Kind of. With its, it's less murderous. It's more of a graveyard rider. It's Sorcery Adventure, Deathly Ride, 1 in the black. Return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. So this is a very expensive Gravedigger. It's 6 mana total to get a 3/3 Gravedigger, but like you get to split it up, which is nice. So yeah, it's just like good value, kind of inefficient, but like still good value. I think the inefficiency is a bit rough though. I want to put this at like 6.
It is value.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's like
I think it's overall good though. So it is more than 5.
Yeah, like if you think about the original Eldraine version of this,
6 is perfect.
The original Eldraine version was like a 2 mana 2/2 flyer that can't block, right?
That was like an uncommon, right?
Yes, and that was uncommon. And that one wasn't even that good. It was like that one was like around the 7, I think.
This is 1 in. Yeah, 2/2 flyer can't block. Okay. Stingblade Assassin, 3 in a black for a 3/1 flash flying fairy assassin. Wow. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target creature an opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. So in the past, we've had this as a 3/2 without flying.
Yes, in Ikoria, that was Ikoria, I think. No, maybe Ikoria was 4/2. I forget, something like that.
Oh, was it a 4/2? That's a big difference.
I know Kaldheim was a 3/2 with Foretell that could let you split up the mana. Flying is big on this.
That was Carl.
Yeah.
It was a 4/2 in Ikoria. Yeah, it was a 4/2.
Flying is big on this. Like this, like high power, low toughness. It like pressures quite well. I think the joke with this is like you're attacking with rats. They block your rats. You kill something that blocks one of your rats, and you get a 3/1 flyer.
Not very good.
You think that's not very good? I think this is like decent.
Oh, if you get to do that every time, it'd be great, but it's not enough. I think
I like this at a 6.
I'm thinking 4.
Okay. I think this is like decent. I think this is a 6. I think that.
I mean, maybe the flying is like really good. Maybe you can like make it. Maybe you can play it on defense.
I think that the flying 3/1 is big.
Yeah. Oh, flying is the person is mentioning. It's comparing it to like there's like a Manticore. There's like a 2/1.
Oh yes,
flying. Is that what you were talking about?
That was AFR.
Yeah.
But I think AFR was also like worse for this. Like I don't know. I just feel like Rats plays well with like this aggressive stat line of playing it on your turn kind of play pattern. Whereas Manticore just didn't really have a place.
Well, it's like playing it on your turn. I don't know. It doesn't take advantage of the flash at all.
Well, you don't need to take advantage of the flash. It's fine.
Yeah, I know.
But it just adds another play pattern to it, which I think is strong.
Let's see.
Are you going to move off your 4?
I'm convinced that 3. I'm talking through whether I think 3/1 is better than 3/1 flying versus 4/2, and I do think the 3/1 flying is better. So you talked me into a 6.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, Scream Puff, 4 in a black for 4/5, Death Touch horror. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, create a food token. It's like. I like this.
Why?
Maybe? 5 is a lot of toughness. Death Touch means it's hard to block. Like, you need either something with 5 power or to, like, trade 2 things. Or, like, I don't know. And, like, it has... It gains you, like, has pseudo lifelink in that you create a food token, right? Like, obviously a lot worse than lifelink. You have to pay the mana. But, like... if it connects, it creates a food token, and it's like awkward for your opponent to block this. I like this. Like, I'm not saying it's like a 9 or anything. All I'm asking for is like a 6, maybe a 7. I'm willing to give this a 7, honestly.
Wow. So it's just a big dummy.
But I think
the food.
I think the food is like a very big part of this. Like, if it didn't have that line of text, it would automatically be like a 4. I think. But like, I think that's a huge difference.
Well, yeah, of course, it's all about the food, but
also, I just think 4-5 is a stat line that like starts being something that like your opponent can't attack into and needs to double block, and that plays well with the death touch. My pronouns in Twitch bio are outdated. Interesting. I haven't looked at my Twitch bio in forever. Thanks.
It just has any pronouns.
Oh, okay, sure.
Slightly.
That was in fact what I expected. It. I don't know if I've ever said that I don't know if I've ever like actively said that my pronouns are he him or something like ever in my life.
Yeah, I probably have not.
Anyways, where are you on Scream Puff?
I was gonna say 5. Seems very just.
And I'm on 7. I think I'm comfortable with 7. I think like low end of 7. Okay. Well,
The life link argument wants me to say 6.
Nice.
Alright, Shatter the Oath. 3 black for a sorcery. Let's destroy target creature or enchantment. Create a wicked roll token attached to up to 1 creature you control. Okay. So, I mean, we have these clunky 5-mana removal spells, but this one gives you a +1/+1.
I mean, I don't think that's enough, right? Like, a +1/+1, like, or like, you know, it's a small game object that you can bargain that gives +1/+1.
Yeah,
it's not enough to make a 5-mana removal.
Better than the food.
Is it? Is it actually?
Yeah, better than the food. Yes.
Are you saying that you'd rather have like? I don't know. I just feel like the +1/+1 isn't going to be as impactful late game in a spot where you're playing this than the food, right? Like, you can bargain both. I think the food has more upside than the +1/+1. The +1/+1's tied to a creature that might die. It like might enable.
Oh, then they lose a life.
Okay, sure, yeah. That helps. that does help.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately that helps. But I don't know. I like a food better. And I think 5-mana sorcery removal certainly is not where we want to be. I want to put this at a 4.
I will say 5.
Okay. That's black. Do you have averages?
Yeah. Oh, averages, yes. Alright. What do you think yours is in comparison to the other colors?
I think this is probably between white and blue. It might even contend with white, actually. I feel like it didn't give very many cards. Like, the weird thing is, though, like,
I think we probably rated this color the highest. That's what I think.
That's probably true, but I think that it doesn't. I think that white had more like cards that I think white generically had stronger ceiling cards and like a bunch of like cards that I was like, oh, I never want to play this. And so like average is a weird way to look at these kinds of ratings, I feel like. But like I think
it sort of isn't that bad of a metric. Like, I think it matters that there are cards that are free.
Yeah, no, definitely true. Like, black, I think black is deeper than white, but like less of a ceiling, I would say.
So, okay, the answer is, it is for both of us the highest average.
Okay.
Yours is 5.9, mine is 5.8.
Okay.
Alright, moving on.
Harried Spearguard, 1/1 haste for red. When it dies, create a rat. Not bad.
I do love Raging Goblin.
Do you also love Doom Traveler? Obviously, like, this isn't a spirit, but you know, that kind of thing.
So There's not many ways for you to sacrifice this, is there?
No, there isn't.
If you want a bargain, you need to like just attack with it and then have him kill it, and they make him eat it, and then.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird because like usually you're like, oh, this set has like sacrifice synergies. Kind of. You want this card for your sacrifice decks, and then you can't actually use it for your sacrifice decks that well. So it's like slightly awkward that way. But like, there's some things that play well with it, like the +3/+0 trick draw card, right? That's very good on this. Obviously, that's black.
I'll say a 4.
I think this is at least a 5.
Okay. Do you want to say 5?
I think I want to say 5. I like could even see it like going to 6, but like I don't know.
Kindled Heroism. Target creature gets +1/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. Scry 1. It's a 1 red. 1 mana.
We always see this card is always bad. 2.
Yeah. Why do they keep making this card? I don't get it. No one's ever put it in their deck.
I feel like there's a lot of cards that they've like stopped putting in limited, but this isn't one of those kinds of cards that like keep putting in.
I will give it a 1.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot that 0 is our minimum. Sure, I'm on you with 1. All right, I'm with you on 1.
All right.
Torch the Tower, red, instant, bargain. Hey, it's shock, kind of. 2 damage to a target creature or planeswalker. If it was bargained, instead you get 3 damage and you scry 1. And you also get the like effect where you exile the thing you kill instead of if a permanent would dealt damage by this would die this turn, exile instead. Yeah.
It's strictly better than Flame Dust Bolt.
That is true. You're not wrong.
No.
Unless your opponent Mindsleepers you. I'm sorry.
This is why.
I truly apologize.
Okay. At least an 8.
I'm willing to go 9. I said 9 for the -3/-3 black removal spell. I think this is similar.
Yeah, I would say this is better than like literal shock.
I mean, yes, I agree. I think the scry 1 is big.
And you said that would be a 9. Right.
Yeah. To be clear, I think shock is like low 9, but I do think it tends to be there.
Low 9. Spoke Battlegarb is a artifact equipment for 1 in a red. The creature gets +1/+0. +2/+0. 2. +2/+0. What I said?
You said
That's
1.
Not what I said.
Yeah.
+2/+0. But you can also equip it by celebrating at the beginning of combat on your turn. Yeah, so
how good is a +2/+0 equipment that like you can move for free ish?
I mean, I guess if you could actually always have celebration, it would be good.
Like I don't know, just imagine like on turn 3 you play like the 1/1 haste, and then you play this card, and then you immediately equip it. So now you have like a 3/1 haste that dies into a rat, and then like later you can like put that equipment on your rats. I think this
what if they just ignore it and you have your like 3/1 haste that you spent 2 cards on?
Well, sorry, no, that's just how equipment works, right? Like the point is that you have a 3/1 haste that dies into this equipment, right? In addition to a rat. I think that this card actually might be quite good. I'm hesitant to give it more than a 6, but I definitely want to give it a 6.
I'm gonna give it a 5. What are you giving it?
I said 6.
I kind of expect it to be worse than a 5, but
sure. I agree with Nor. I think it's good with the rat aggro stuff and bad otherwise. Yeah, but like, I don't know. I think it might just be like really good in that archetype. But Grand Ball Guest, 1 in the red, 2/2. Celebration, +1/+1 trample. So as long as 2 things entered, it has +1/+1 and trample. So this can be a 3/3 trample quite often. I think this is a really good drop.
Let's go.
I want to give this an 8.
Oh, come on.
Okay, I might be overrating celebration.
Right, give it a 7.
I guess it's like, I guess it's really hard for it to ever be anything but a 2/2 unblocks. Yeah, okay, sure, it's a 7.
Like this, I agree. This is going to be the 2-drop you want, sort of. But that doesn't make it broken. Yeah, it's not.
This is not a trigger and cannot be missed. I love it.
Yeah, and you don't even need to say anything. You're like, you don't have to acknowledge that it happened. Your opponent just like.
I would prefer to say something, but anyways.
Yeah. Oh, but like okay. Think about it in reverse. Your opponent's gonna not say anything. You should notice yourself.
Sure. Relevant for the paper
I also always
limited tournament thing. But
yeah. All right. Rat Catcher Trainee is another 2-drop, but this one has an adventure for 2 in a red instant. Create 2 rats, and as long as it's your turn, this creature, when it's a creature, when you play for 1 in a red and it's a 2/1 human peasant, it has first strike. I said that all in the wrong order, but I did there in the end.
So it's 2/1 first strike on your turn. That comes with 2 rats if you adventure it. That's very good, I think. It's just a lot of material.
Instant speed celebration.
Yeah, instant speed celebration is also funny because most of celebration
which often
things,
only triggers the main attack, but some of it triggers other times.
I mean, like the previous one, right? Like that's like, the Grand Ball Guess.
It just happened. Yeah. So I mean, both of these cards would be bad on their own, but together they're quite good. I think this is actually better than the previous card.
I agree, it's better than the previous card. I'm on 8 still, but
yeah, okay. Got some good 2-drops.
Yeah. Oh, I guess the last one I did say 7. Whatever.
Yeah.
Skewer Slinger.
But I went up to 8 for this one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm on with you on 8. Skewer Slinger, 1 in red for a 1/3 reach. Interesting. Whenever it blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, it deals 1 damage to that creature. I mean,
okay, right. I thought about this card before.
So like it blanks as 2/2. Like it completely blanks like any 2/2s, right?
Oh man, you're gonna flash in your 3/1 flyer, and you're gonna be like, "Sorry, I don't have any text."
This is like a strong defensive card, huh?
Correct, but it's defensive.
Yes, yeah, that's the problem. But like, it's weird how strongly defensive this is. I feel like you don't usually get 2-drops at common that like disincentivize your opponent's 2/2s from attacking, right? Because like usually your stat lines are like 2/2, 1/3, 3/1.
Right, they don't make 2/3s at common.
Yeah, they in the previous Eldraine did have a 2/1 first strike at common. Like straight up first strike.
Okay, right.
But they don't do that anymore that much.
This card specifically has like the issue, like it's like not 2 power on attacks, or in the sense that it only deals 1 when it connects.
Yeah. I think this card is like in a vacuum. I want to give it like a 7, but like in red, I kind of want to like bump it down. Like if you told me like this was a blue card, I would give it a 7. I feel like.
Right, yeah, it's worse than red. I also think that, like, it's just remarkable. This type of card is usually, like, the filler, unplayable, bad card. Like the random reach 2-drop. But I think you can play it. I think it's a 5.
Sure. I think if there's any defensive red deck, this becomes a 6. So I'm going to give it a 6. I'm going to be optimistic.
All right, we've got... Witch's Mark. 1 in a red for a sorcery. You may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. Create a Wicked Roll token attached to up to 1 target creature you control. Wow.
I mean,
this is
yeah,
awesome. I've always been a fan of Tormenting Voice, even when it's bad, and this one's not even bad.
Also doesn't get blown out by counters, but you can't copy it for value. They're like,
oh wait, wow!
It's not additional cost.
Yeah, it's not on cast. Awesome. I mean, it's not as good as copying. Yeah. Oh, that's what you said.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
in the same way.
Okay, so this is basically very similar to the Brothers War thing, right? Bitter Reunion, except instead of the haste ability, you get a Wicked Roll.
This is better, right?
I think Bitter Reunion may have been better because haste was actually very impactful, and also like the sacrifice was very impactful, probably as much as like Bargain will be. But like, yes, this is quite good.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, here's a funny one. If you target your creature and it gets removed in response, you don't get the rummage, which is really weird.
Oh,
Because it completely fizzles.
yeah, you cast it. You have to choose a target, and you don't get to discard and draw 2. That's unfortunate, but at least it's not a cost.
Yeah, at least it's not a cost.
I think it's still a 7.
Yeah, I like that. I like 7. Flick a coin. Flick a coin deals 1 damage to any target for 2 in the red as an instant. You create a treasure, draw a card. I think this card is very good. I think this is like an 8.
Yeah, I love it.
Like
It's like a what?
I said 8. I could
8.
I could see it ending up at 9, but I'm gonna go 8.
Oh, come on. I mean, I know Neonate's Rush was like somehow awesome, but
Blind's Blast was a
What?
fine card in War as well, and like this for one day, this can go to any target. I forget if Neonate's Rush could.
Neonate's Rush did 1 to and 1 to a creature.
Oh, okay, sure. But the treasure is so big on this.
Of course. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
And there's also 2 mana. Right. So it's very similar to Neonate's Rush. It's gonna be very good.
I think 8.
I don't know if I can give it an 8.
I'm gonna say 8.
Okay, I mean, how many copies of this are you gonna play?
I would play 3.
I don't know if I would. I'm going to 7. I swear. I think most people, if I talk to them about this card, I would be higher than them on it, but they're just crazy.
I just really like flicking coins. I don't know. I'm probably too high on it, but like I don't know.
I think most people are giving this like a 5 or lower.
Oh no,
Like,
no,
Yeah.
no way.
Well, let's look at the want to bet on the average taken at on 17 lands.
Oh well, yeah, average taken out will be way too low. I think. I mean, there's a chance that we're just completely wrong and like it's trash, but who knows? Anyways,
Possible for us to be wrong. Frantic Firebolt, 2 in a red instant. It does X damage to target creature, where X is 2 plus the number of cards in your graveyard that are instant sorcery cards or have an adventure. But yeah, that's the other thing. Blue and red is not just instant sorceries. Several of the cards call out adventures as well.
yes.
That's because a lot of the spells are adventures.
Yep.
Especially in those colors.
Notably, this doesn't count the adventures that you have in exile, so it's still like not like you should treat all adventures in your deck as, or your adventure creatures on the battlefield.
This is going to be dealing, I don't know, 3 conservatively. Like, that's good.
It's pretty often that'll deal 3, so like I don't know. It's like a fine card. I don't think it's that exciting though. Like, it's 3 mana kill a thing, kind of. But like it starts out.
I'll give it a 7.
Yeah, I think 7
lower
is
than
fair.
that somehow.
I think 7 is fair. I just like don't like.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see these cards and they're like very good, right?
They can be 9s if they're pushed more.
9 Crescendo. 2 in the red instant. Creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. Rats. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies this turn, create a rat. So non-token. So your rats dying don't like help you, but I could see this playing a similar role to like inspired charge from in like various white decks in the past. So I think that's somewhere around a 7-ish. No, not 7-ish. 6-ish.
Really?
6-ish.
Hold on. How many rats do you think this is making? Like,
1.
Do you think the game is continuing after you play this card? Yeah. That's not a big part of you, right?
No, that's not a big part. But my thought is that like you can make a lot of rats and this can like be like a plan.
Alright, whatever you say, I'm gonna go 1 lower. What are you saying?
Okay, I'll say 5. I think this is I'm talking myself down.
Alright, it's a 4.
Okay, great. scary to base your
It's not a good policy, actually.
yeah, it's not a good policy. What if I said 1?
No, there was a limit. I think I wouldn't have gone lower than 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Mary Bards, 2 and a red for a 3/2 human bard. But it's actually multiple bards. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 1. When you do, create a young hero role token attached to target creature you control.
So like,
no thanks.
So 3 mana 3/2, obviously bad. How good is it to pay 4 mana in order to get a 3/2 that like comes with a counter, probably, because like you can do it before combat.
Well, it like attacks as a 4/3 and then a 5.
Sorry, no, attached to like any creature, so you can give like a hasty counter.
Yeah. But like, I was ridiculous assuming you attach yours to itself. But yeah, ideally you would.
I think this is like
somewhere else and get a counter right away.
I think 4. I don't know.
I think it's a 3.
Okay, sure.
Just these 3 mana 3/2s, you just end up not playing them when they're bad.
Yeah, that's fair.
They just don't.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Minecart Daredevil, 2 in a red for a 4/2, no text, Dwarf Knight. But
What? How did I do this?
what?
Oh my god.
Sorry, how did you...
This is the 4/2 and the other one was a 3/2?
Anyways, it has an adventure as well, which is 1 in red for an instant. Target creature gets +2/+1 until end of turn. I mean, this is quite good.
It is at least an 8.
Yeah. The free combat trick.
How do they make these cards?
A 3 mana 4/2 also just like is very much a card in that it like trades. It can trade off. It can pressure.
I think that stat line is better than 3 mana 3/3. That's reasonable, right?
I think I disagree. I think 4/2 is like weird. It's better.
Yeah.
It depends on what deck you're facing. It's
very
worse against aggro, better against mid range. Kind of is how I would say. Like it's worse if it's a 3 mana 4/2 is worse the lower your opponent's curve is, but better the higher your opponent's curve is. Like sometimes you get value out of 3/3s blanking things. You don't get value out of 4/2s blanking things. But like you can be more aggressive with it.
Agree.
Yeah, I think overall it's worse, but than a 3/3. But I agree with you on it.
The trick is small enough that I won't give it a 9.
There's no way this is a 9.
Oh, it was away in my head for a minute. Red Cap Thief, 2 in a red for a 2/3 Goblin Rogue that makes a treasure when it enters. Like a treasure. Funny, but
7?
Willing to play that. I'll give it a 6.
Okay. Yeah, that's maybe.
What about you?
So I said 7, but I think that's like. I think I'm just still miscalibrated on your scale, so I think 6 is more fair.
Yeah. Like you will actually cut this sometimes.
This enables celebration. Well, actually, this is really good for a celebration enabler, except for the fact that it has a defensive stat line. Because like you get celebration the turn you play on turn 3.
This turn and next turn.
Yeah, and next turn you get to double spell. It's fun.
I still think like this is a card you're gonna cut sometimes. It's gonna be like, okay,
yes,
got a good day. That's my medium card, probably this thing.
Unruly Catapult, 2 in a red for an 0/4 defender. Not even reach, even though it's a catapult. Tap to deal a damage whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, untap it. So this is like a 3 mana Thermo Alchemist.
Extra toughness though.
Yeah, but it's also
toughness
extra.
Is all I want.
But it's also extra mana.
Yeah, it's worse than Thermo Alchemist.
Yeah, like a lot worse. I want to give this like a 5.
I mean, this card you can't play in a lot of decks.
I agree, which is part of why I'm giving it like a 5. Maybe you should go lower.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4, even though it's gonna be a deck where like it's actively good. It's like
Yeah, okay,
never
4.
doesn't have the potential Thermo Alchemist has to be like,
Oh, we have
I've got 5 of these, my deck's unbeatable. Cut in 3 in a red for a sorcery that deals 4 damage to target creature. Then you create a young hero roll attached to up to 1 target creature you control. A lot of these young heroes, which I think is the worst roll, but I guess it will add up.
I disagree with it being
bad.
the worst roll. I think like all the rolls are like very contextual and like pretty even.
Yeah.
I think Young Hero is a lot worse on the card, specifically the card that's like reanimated creature and put a Young Hero roll on it, because it doesn't do anything for another turn unless the creature has haste. But like if you can put a Young Hero on a card like hastily, then it's good upside. I like this.
Right, then it's better than most of them.
I want to give this an 8 or a 9.
4 mana sorcery, Jason. When we had the 5 mana sorcery make a roll token,
There is a
killed anything.
big difference between 4 and 5 mana. There's a huge difference between 4 and 5 mana.
There's a big difference between 4 damage and actually killing anything.
4 damage kills a lot of things, though. I don't know.
It doesn't kill their, like, 6/6s.
I'm gonna give this an 8.
I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay. Edgewall Pack. 3 in a red for a 3/3 menace. When it enters the battlefield, create a rat. Lots of wording tweaks to Chimney Rabble. Menace instead of haste. 1/1 can't block.
I mean, it's way worse than Chimney Rabble.
Well, yeah, I know. I just like, the classic 4 mana 3/3 and a 1/1, They've been doing that a lot recently.
It used to be a 3/2 and a 1/1.
Did it? Ikoria had a 3/3/1/1.
All time.
Oh, sure. And it was even good in call time. But I think this is good.
Exactly, yeah.
I think this is good. Still, it's a
great card you can play.
It's a lot more aggressively slanted.
Don't think it's gonna be.
I want to say like.
Yeah.
I want to say like 6, maybe 5. I don't know. I think 6.
I don't know. At least 6. But can't block is pretty bad, but yeah. So that's why I'll stop at 6, I guess. Right, Grabby Giant, the adventure creature, was a 2 mana 1 in a red for an instant that creates a treasure token, and the creature is 3 in a red for a 4/3 giant with reach and ability that's 2 in a red, sack an artifact or land, draw a card. Yeah.
This is a weird one, but I like it.
Yeah. This is a good 4-drop. I think it's better than the previous one.
I'm not convinced.
Pretty close, yeah.
Like, I mean, the 1/1 can't block, so, like, I don't know. I guess it's, like, probably better.
If you spend 9 mana, you get a 4/3 and draw a card.
Sure. I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna give it a 6 still. I think it's not categorically different than the previous one.
I'm optimistic. I'll give it a 7.
Okay. Bellowing Bruiser, last red card. 4 in a red for 4/4 haste. Somewhat charging Mantra Store vibes there. Be the Path, 2 in a red sorcery adventure on this card. Up to 2 target creatures can't block this turn. So a bit of a falter as well. It's like pretty good. Very aggressive.
Yeah, that hits.
Lots of like aggressive stats here.
You'd rather have them in the other order.
I agree. You'd much rather have them in the other order. But like you can still go like you could still go like turn 4
someday.
Well, you're not going to like have 8 mana, right? But basically never.
You might. I cast my Grabby Giant. I got a treasure flying around.
Well, okay, so like you play this on turn 4, make 2 things not block, and smash in for a lot, and then you smash in for a 4.
Turn 4? Oh, just because.
Yeah, like you'd rather you don't want to play this on turn 3, right? Unless you don't have anything.
Yeah. I was thinking like turn 5. Turn 6, I'd start using the adventure.
I feel like usually you'd rather have the 4/4 haste, but like the adventure is nice on that. Like if you can double swell the
I'm
adventure.
worried you're gonna have to skip the adventure too often.
I feel like 5 mana 4/4 haste is still like good enough. Like 5 mana 4/4
If it's
haste.
turn 5, you're gonna like just have to play it a lot of the time.
I feel like that 5 mana 4/4 haste is like at least a 5, like probably a 6 ish.
Really? Okay.
I don't know.
This is a kind of reasonable card.
I'm gonna go.
I think it's a 4 though. I think that would be a 4 if it were just the front side.
Really? Okay. I might be overreading it, but I'm gonna give this a 6.
Oh. Easily, yeah. Overall.
Yeah.
Um.
Averages?
Okay. All right. 6 is fine. Eight. Or average. Oh. Wow. It's the best color yet.
Oh, really?
Both of us.
Interesting.
Your average is 6.2. My average is 5.8. That's including the kindled heroism, which we both give a 1, which is the worst grade we've given. We haven't even given like 2s out.
Mhm.
I guess I gave a 2 or something. Yeah. Oh, yeah, red's kind of insane. It was just banger after banger. Before this, I like went and rated the monocolor uncommons, not like one by one. I just like assessed them as a whole. And red was the best color. It's uncommon too. I thought.
I don't know.
Andre asks, "What is a 4/4 no ability on your scale?" I will say
4.
it's gotten worse over time. I'll say 5.
I think
higher
4.
than 5.
Maybe. I think it depends on the set.
I think like N for N is best at 4. I think 4 is the
completely vanilla. I
N
agree.
for N.
I agree completely vanilla. It's best at 4.
Yeah.
Anyways, on the green, Brave the Wilds. Or wait, is it my turn? I don't know. Whatever. Brave the Wilds. Green. Sorcery. Bargain. If the spell is bargained, target land you control becomes a 3/3 elemental creature with haste that's still a land. And if always you get to search for basic. So this is Lay of the Land, except you can bargain to like make a 3/3 with one of your lands. This is an interesting card. It's like I like that they keep printing Lay of the Land with upside because I just like that effect. I don't know, like I feel like I consistently overrate these cards, but I think this one is like.
Yes, you do.
I think this one is good. I don't know. Okay, the problem with many partings in Lords of the Rings is that green was bad, but like it was a good card in green still.
Oh, I was thinking more about Thurston reasons, but.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't green also bad in that
Anyway.
set? Or am I missing?
That was not the problem.
Okay.
Anyway. I don't know. So the cool thing is that it stays a creature forever.
Yes.
So
it's just like, so you can think of it as when you bargain it, right? You miss your land drop, like
you still search up a land.
Yes, yeah. So you still search up a land, but you're kind of like turning a land into a 3/3. So the net effect is kind of miss your land drop and bargain something for a 3/3, right?
Yeah, it is kind of good. I mean, you have to have something to bargain. You're like basically paying 1 mana more or less to turn something into a 3/3.
I think this is quite good. I think I'm going to give this a.
Wait. Oh. Still like down a card. You still spend a card on it.
Well, no, you're not down a card unless if not counting the bargain, you're definitely not down a card.
It's like you playing the Brave the Wild becomes a 3/3, and then you also sacrifice your thing.
Yeah, you sacrifice a thing, you sacrifice a land, you sacrifice your Brave the Wild, you get a land, and you play the land for turn. So you roughly played the Brave the Wild.
I was counting the bargain. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's bargain to make a 3/3, but like on a very low cost split card.
I'm gonna be lower on this than you.
I'm gonna say 7.
I've committed. Okay, I was gonna say 5.
Okay.
we're in a second bag. Yeah.
I'm glad I'm consistent in being way higher on these.
Commune with nature. Single green for a sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order.
5 is a lot, but this can't get lands.
I want this card to be good. I want the card to be good, but it can't be.
Yeah, I want to say
You
this
can
is
play
a
it
4.
occasionally, but if you have a couple really, really good creatures, and you've got like
Yes.
at least 15, preferably 16, 17, 18 creatures, and you can play it. Typically, you shouldn't play it. I'll give it a 3.
Okay, I said 4. I'm
You
surprised
said-
I was higher on it. Maybe I should adjust to 3 because I like agreed with everything you were saying.
I think 3 is generous,
Okay.
honestly. I switched you to a 3. Your turn.
Okay. Leaping Ambush. Yeah, I just checked the hypergeometric. 15 is around where 90% is, yeah. Leaping Ambush, green, instant, target creature gets +1/+3 and gains reach until end of turn, untap it. So we've seen this a lot. This is just a good card, but not like an exciting card. It's like a 6. It's like always a 6, basically.
Wait, really? Do you have a green deck? You expect more likely than not you'll play this card?
Yes. 1
Oh,
mana
I
tricks
know.
are good.
Doesn't
Do you want me to pull up like sudden spinner? Do you want me to pull up like sudden spinnerettes? A game in hand.
Yeah, I
win
know
rate or
this card has
something?
been underrated before.
Like, I don't know. I just think this effect tends to be good. Is sudden spinnerettes the most recent one?
I think
Can't
so.
be, right?
If you want the exact text, I think that's the last one.
Sudden
You
spinnerettes,
said
game in
6.
hand win rate 57. Like that's a 6. I claim.
I'm giving it a 5.
Okay, sure.
Toadstool Admirer, 1 mana, 1/1. It's an oof. But it's ward 2.
One
It
mana,
has the
ward 2.
ability, 3 and a green. Put a counter on it. Is that
I'm off it. It's a 2.
2? Oh, it has ward 2.
I don't want to ever pay 4 mana to put a +1/+1 counter on this.
Well, yeah, the idea is you do other things to beef it up, and then it has ward 2.
Yes, but
But
like
you're
that's
right,
a lot to
pretty
ask.
awful. I don't know why I want to give it a 3. Alright, it's a 2.
Nice.
I don't have any argument for it.
Oh right, Arachnoid adaptation was a recent one. That one was good. From Mom, it was
Right.
+2/+2 untap reach. But yeah, obviously +2/+2 is better than 1/3 usually, but it was like best green common for a bit or something. I don't know. Maybe for only a bit though. I don't know. Anyways, Bestial Bloodline, 1 in the green enchantment or enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2. 4 in a green, return it from your graveyard to your hand. So like, how good is like being able to return this to your hand? I don't actually know. Like, it's not an amazing card, but
You can pay 7 mana if you want to bring it back.
yeah.
That's so much mana.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't want to play
3?
this card. I mean,
Maybe just
if
2.
it didn't have the ability, it would just be a 1, right? You don't play that.
Okay, sure, 2.
Yeah, it's another 2. And like, the only reason we're not getting these cards once is because I'm less certain about it than I was that red combat trick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Root Rider Fawn, 1 in a green for a 1/3 Satyr Scout, which can tap for green, or you can pay 1 and tap it to get any color. It's actually not
I like
so horrible.
I like this as a 5. I think this reads very average to me. I could see it being a 6 though. I don't know how much green is about ramping. Maybe it is.
I mean, I think the fixing is real. Like, willing to do it.
If I want to use this for fixing, I would much rather play Prophetic Prism. Is my claim.
I mean, it's just different.
I agree it's different. But I feel like the decks that want to like play this for fixing...
It's going to save you when you don't draw your sources, is what I mean. You also have a bunch of other sources, but sometimes you don't draw them, and it just saves you.
I mean, sure. Like, yes, this could be like an nth source or something, but like... I don't put much stock into that.
Okay, so what, like a 5?
I'm on 5.
Alright.
I might be underrating this, but I just don't like mana dorks that aren't like... I don't like mana dorks that like sacrifice a lot of power for being a mana dork, you know? Like, I guess 1/3 is fine, but I don't know. This one I like. This one is a 1 in a green for a 2/3 defender. Wolf. I probably like this one a bit too much, honestly. At the beginning of your combat, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn and can attack as though it didn't have defender.
Yeah, so the obvious comparison is Dragon Pteranodon from M21. Is that what you're thinking? I think it's a lot worse.
I mean, yes, it's a lot worse. But like, when I say I like this, I mean along the 6th line.
Yeah, I guess even though it's a lot worse, like that one was what, an 8 or 9 or something.
Yeah, basically the reason why I like this is that 2/3 like blocks quite well in the early turns.
This is the second creature that blocks as a 2/3 we've had.
Yes, but like green is like the color you want this in, not red, right?
Yeah.
I could even see it being a 7, but that's probably a bit too aggressive for now.
Okay, you got me. I'll give it a 6. I think gross. It's back. A 1 in the green instant target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. Card is come back more times than I feel like it deserves for being just so boring and medium.
Like 4?
I think it's a 4.
For the +4/+4.
Yeah, I mean it's just all 4s.
So if it were +9/+9, you would give them 9. I mean, yes, probably. But Troublemaker Oof, 1 in the green for a 2/2. Bargain. If it was bargained, when the ETBs, you get to exile target an artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. I think this is a card where you'll have to like look a lot at the bonus sheet, and this is like a sideboard card, even still. But like,
yeah, it's you lose your thing, they lose their thing.
Well, you have control,
but then you have to play it on turn 2 for no value, and you can't ever do it later. I don't like it.
4.
It's a 3.
I think it's a 4. It's like good to have sometimes, you know.
I'd rather just not. Okay, we've got Curse of the Werefox. Okay, 2 in the green for a sorcery. Create a monster roll token to target creature you control. When you do, that creature fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. So the monster is +1/+1 trample.
Yep. This is like decent, right? Like this is just what the rate generally is. Maybe slightly better than that because of the trample.
I think so.
And also the bargain.
I think I'll say 7. What? Oh, you can later bargain. Yeah.
I think
I'm
7.
saying 7.
Yeah, sure. I like it. So one thing to note about these is like roll cards get worse in multiples. They have diminishing returns because you can only have 1 roll per creature.
So does each color have its own roll that it usually uses?
I believe
there are 6 of them.
So white is royal.
So the green is monster.
Yeah, green is monster. White is royal. Blue is cursed. Black is wicked. Red is young hero. What's the last one? Sorcerer. Blue is also sorcerer. But blue.
I think blue is just sorcerer, and cursed roll is its own thing. That's all the colors, but
I think blue has more cursed roll as well.
Blue and white or something.
But I think blue.
Think what?
I think blue has more cursed rolls, and like there's
I agree.
Cursed roll doesn't count really because it's like not a roll you put in your own things.
Right. Like if you're worried about, like you're going to be putting 2 positive rolls on your creatures, depending on which 2 colors you have.
Well, yeah, but like for example, this is worse. Like if you have one creature that you're using to fight, right, and you have 2 copies of this in your hand, the second copy doesn't put a counter on it. Is what I mean.
Yes, that's
right.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's a play pattern that happens a lot if you have 2 copies of this. You hunt, you like fight, and then you fight again, and your creature is like grown both times and gain value. They gain tempo.
Right, and the fact that each color has its own is actually going to make you have types overlap.
Anyways. Hollow Scavenger, 2 and a green for a 3/2. Sorcery, Bakery Raid as an adventure. You create a food token, and also on the 3/2, it has an ability: 1 sack of food. It gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Activate only once each turn, but you can activate it at instant speed. Curious Pair got a glow up. It's very similar to like the Witch, like. Where that going from 1/3 to 3/2. Curious Pair went from 1/3 to 3/2. Obviously, it got another mana.
But we talked about there was a black card that was a 3 mana 3/2 that ETB'd was a food token.
Yes.
This one you have to go on an adventure first.
Yes.
This one the ability gives it +2. The other one was like you pay 2 and
pay 2 sack it to like throw the food for 2 damage at your opponent.
Yeah. This card is actually probably worse than that one.
I agree, because you have to like. I guess it's better at attacking, but
right.
It might be similar. No, it's definitely worse.
Having to pay a mana for your food token.
It's worse because it's hard to curve out with it. Like you have to specifically play the adventure on turn 1.
You have to pay a mana.
Yeah.
At some point to get your food token. You don't just get it for free.
Yeah, I mean, the other one you need to pay 2 to like throw the food token. This one you only need to pay 1 technically.
Yeah.
But like it's worse to shift the mana forwards. So yeah, this is worse, but I think still good. I think this is like a 7.
What do we give the other one?
I gave the other one a 7. I think you were lower on it.
Or was it? What's it called?
Witch. It was like. Sweet Tooth Witch.
Oh yeah, Sweet Tooth Witch. You gave it a 6. You gave it a 7.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna go up to 7 and give this one a 6.
Okay, sure. Up to 7 on the previous one.
You're still giving it a 7.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Maybe you're 7 on both, right?
Yes. Royal Roll on a green card. For the next one, that's yours to read.
Oh yeah, Red Tooth Genealogist. They all have like a tooth card and 3 mana. Okay. 2 and a green for a 2/3 Elf Advisor. An entrance battlefield, create a royal roll attached to another target creature you control, which is the +1/+1 in ward 1.
I mean, if you can.
There's a few cards that make royal.
If you get this.
Oh yeah, if you have another creature, that's great.
Yeah, then it's like 3 mana for 3/4 worth of stats with like a bit of ward 1 and a bit of bargain stuff going on.
Yep.
It's like, I think this is like a 6, 7, 6, 7.
So you go 2-drop.
I think I want to give this a 6 just because like you need another creature.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 6 as well.
Return from the Wild. I love this one. 2 and a green for a sorcery. Choose 2. Search for a basic and put into play tapped, then shuffle. Create a 1/1, not a rat, just a 1/1 human, or create a food. So this is a 1/1 that comes with either like a land or a food, or some very occasionally you'll want to land food, but like usually you'll want 1/1 food or 1/1 land.
I feel like the land is the best of the 3.
I mean, what I mean, like,
sometimes
the problem with the land,
late game, maybe you'll skip the land.
Late game, you're a lot less likely to go with a land.
Yeah,
but this is a pretty good card, right?
I think overall it's worse than Cultivate.
Yes, but Cultivate is a very good card.
But it's a good card.
Cultivate is a divination that ramps you and fixes you.
Yes.
I think this is a very good card. This is like Elvish Rejuvenator, for example, was a card from forever ago that was quite good. Obviously, like things have gotten slightly better than that. Anyways, it's a 3-mana 1/1 that like ETB look at top 5.
Okay, yeah. Okay, this is like Farfinder.
No, it's not. This puts it on the battlefield.
Oh, right. Okay, never mind.
Wait, did you not realize this was ramp? This isn't just a like.
Oh, I just forgot what Farfinder was. I knew it was ramp.
Yeah. This is very good.
Yeah. All right. It's not very good. It's a 7 maybe.
I sadly have to agree with you that it's probably only a 7 and not an 8. Well, I was very tempted.
But I'm here to keep it sane. Spider food. 2 and a green for a sorcery. Destroy up to 1 target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. Create a food token. They keep making these. It's a different flavor.
Okay, now I'm gonna give that previous one an 8. Actually, I just remembered that the aura from March of the Machine exists, the one that incubates 2 and ramps.
Yeah, that card was good.
Yeah, that card was good. I think this card is also pretty good. Like,
the card was better though.
I think slightly, but I think that one, like, I don't know. I think it still justifies an 8 for the previous ramp card, Return from the Wilds. Anyways, Spider Food.
Sideboard card. 4.
Sure.
Very mediocre.
Sure. I'll take 4.
Right, we got.
Could even go lower. I don't know. Verdant Outrider, 2 and a green for a 4/2 Human Knight. 1 and a green. It can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less this turn.
Solid.
Yeah.
I will give it a 5.
I will give it a 4. I think like a 3-mana 3/3 is like a 4, and I think this is worse than a 3-mana 3/3.
Oh, I think it's better.
Okay. Maybe.
It can be blocked. Right, we got Ferocious Werefox. Adventure creature, 1 and a green for the instant. Creates a monster roll token attached to target creature you control. That's +1/+1 and trample. Nice.
Instant speed. That's interesting.
Yeah. So we got 3 and a green for a 4/3 trample elf fox warrior. Good card.
I think it's like only okay.
I'm a sucker for this like trick plus creature combo.
Yeah, it's
trick is very small. I guess you often won't be able to get a card worth of value out of it, but when you do, whew,
yeah,
nasty.
This reminds me of Garenbrig Carver. That one was like a 5. I think this
that was
like
that was a +2/+2.
+2/+2, but a 3/2 on the front side. I think this is like a 6.
Was Garenbrig Carver only a 5?
I think so.
No. It was good.
I'm
gonna give this a 7.
Okay. Skybeast Tracker.
You want to say?
I said 6.
I said 6. Yeah.
3 and a green for a 2/4 reach. Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, create a food token.
No.
I want to give this a 4.
I'll give it a 3.
Yeah. I like consider giving it a 3, but like I like food tokens. You know.
I know you do. I don't. You're not even going to make a food token with this. You're going to make like 1 if you're lucky.
Yeah, a 2/4 reach with a food token is probably a 4. I don't know.
Beanstalk Worm is another adventure. Adventure's interesting. It's 1 and a green for a sorcery. You may play an additional land this turn. That's all you get. Then your creature is 4 and a green for a 5/4 with reach to plant worm.
I don't like this. I think there's very few times.
Sometimes catching the adventure.
Very few times.
I have nothing else to do.
Yeah, like very, very narrow. I'm gonna give this a 4.
Oh, that what you would give the stat line?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I guess me too.
Final card.
It's almost a 3 though. Not for the adventure, I would give it a 3.
That I feel like the adventure is worth roughly 0. But anyways,
Yeah,
final card.
it's really bad.
Hamlet Glutton, 5 green for a 6/6 ETB, gain 3 life, trample. But you can also bargain it to save 2 mana. So this is our Ravenous Lindworm. Gained 1 fewer life.
Yeah.
Kind of costs 1 fewer mana. You should probably set it up to cost 1 fewer mana. 5 is a lot less than 7.
Well, Lindworm didn't have trample, did it?
No, it didn't. No. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This is. Can I say 9? Am I allowed to say 9? I think I'm allowed to.
No,
say
you
9.
can't. You're not allowed to say 9. You're probably not even allowed to say 8.
What?
I think I would prefer this card if it just cost 6 mana and didn't have the bargain.
I think I disagree with you. I think it's.
Yeah, we've had this discussion twice. We had like a card with bargain, and I've thought it's like worse than just costing 1.
Like if you think of like it lets your random tokens be treasures. Treasures are so good.
I prefer random tokens.
No, I would prefer treasures. Like instead of this +1/+1, I'd rather have that. Like
The thing I'm hoping to act to my bargain is a treasure. That's what I want to say.
No, it's not. The thing I'm hoping to sack to my bargain is, well, for one thing, like a random like trinket enchantment. For another thing, like I'd rather sack a rat than a treasure. Like way more rather sack a rat than a treasure. Like if you just let me sack a rat for a treasure, like say like every card that I'm playing that makes rats, I'd rather make treasures. I would take that deal 100%. It's like so powerful.
Did the treasures tap for colorless?
Yeah, the treasures that tap for colorless, whatever, like Power Stone, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, we should wrap this up. It's 6. I think both of us need to go at 6.
Yes. Okay. So you're giving it an 8. Is that right?
I'm giving it a 9. To be clear,
you are giving it. A 9.
I am giving this a 9.
I think the card is quite good. That's why I'm giving it a 7. Yeah. I think it's worse than just talking.
Okay.
And
Well,
6 mana, 6/6
final
is
averages.
good.
What were green averages and what were like overall common averages?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it is worth it to do Dan Cash. It's just like you won't always be able to, and even when you do, it's not that much better than just like discounting 1 mana. Yeah. Anyway, it was good. I think we both have to go. And in like 3 months or something, I will pair our ratings and find out who won.
Oh wait, what was the average for? What was our average rating?
For green.
For green, yeah.
Yes.
And for overall.
But yeah, we definitely were above 5 on every color. We're supposed to average 5 for every color. For green, never mind. For green, you said 5.16 average, and I said 4.79. I managed to get one of them under 5.
Okay. And
what was both of our least favorite colors.
Okay. What was our overall average? Each of them.
Average of everything?
Yeah.
So if I'm including the colorless commons, your average was 5.6 and mine was 5.5.
Okay. So very close.
As expected, we went a bit over 5.
Yeah, but both of us were very
that is how it goes.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for doing this. Thank you everyone for watching. I think we both need to go, so we should wrap this up pretty quickly. But yeah, we'll see how accurate these are. I'm going to be doing an archetype skeleton stream with Circovitz, the DDAVP. I forget what their like non-username is, and probably to Jordan. And I don't know if Kirsten's is joining, but that's going to be tomorrow on I think Circovitz's channel. But for now, I'm just going to send you guys away to I don't know somewhere.